go. All right, we are set. This time we get back into what we were trying to do last time. Hopefully that hotfix rollout takes care of whatever issues we were facing the first time around. What's up, Akun? How you doing? Let's get this closed down. Make this a lot smaller. The live chat. Make this box a bit smaller. That should be good. Bring that down here. Okay, we should be all set. Double check our volumes here. Yeah, looking good. Let's roll. Doing good. Salvage, relax at the moment with the Vulture. How you be? I am good. I did a thing because I really wanted to. I added a ship to my hangar. Wow, the belly of this paint job is a lot brighter than I thought. There wasn't really a picture of the undercarriage. I don't know how I feel about this yet. Guess we'll see. But yeah, I got the Hull B officially. I moved some things around. I didn't actually have to melt any ships. I had to store credit after getting rid of a bunch of paints I haven't used in forever. Which is kind of crazy and probably spells out a much larger problem. What's up, Tor? How you doing? Well, I really wanted to do these missions we were doing out in Pyro, and this is honestly the perfect ship for it, given the issues with the whole sea. I mean, I can cram everything into the Hull, or into the Hermes like we were, but you saw the issues the Hermes was having with its weird, like, bouncy problems, and I don't know, I was just not really wanting to deal with it. So I made it official. The Hull B is in my hangar. What's up, Gonin? So now we're gonna zip back over to Pyro and go tackle all those juicy 400 and 500k contracts that we had found and see how much we can make. All right. Let me get all my power where I want it. Sure, we have enough power for all of that. Let's go. Put some energy into our life support. I'll go ahead and kill these. Kill that. Kill one of the coolers. Leave everything else on. Looking good. Let's get out of here. Hazard Shield, good to see you. Alright, gear up. God, it looks so tiny. And we're off. Fortunately, home is not too far from Pyro Gateway. It is a Hull BUC, my friend. Yep, we're rocking the Horizon paint instead of the Dusk paint. Or maybe it's the other way around. I think this is the Dusk livery. I wanted to try something different. Yeah, I had I'd mentioned a few times that I would love to have this thing in my hangar. I just wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to, but I had some store credit left over, and all I had to do was get rid of some paints that I don't really use. And that was able to get me over the threshold to get the ship on store credit. Which again, probably just highlights my issue with how I give into paints, if we're being honest. I have a problem. I recognize this. We're equipped with a bit more of a move fast build on this, because I didn't have a time to like shuffle all the stealth components around. So we're running on some really good civilian Alorica shields. We got a JS400 power plant, Hemera quantum drive for speed. So we'll still be able to run low signature if we need to. And yes, I am very much a paint hoe. That's accurate. And you know, funny enough, because I didn't unequip the last Hull B, it actually ended up eating my my dusk and my first light liveries. Like, they just weren't available. So I went ahead and just melted those and turned around and got this one because I hadn't ran it yet. And in the store, you really only see the top view, which is the nice darker look I go for. You don't really see the very bright belly. So I hadn't actually seen this livery in its entirety yet, which doesn't look bad. Definitely multicolored. A little nod to the Trailblazer paint, kinda, that I like to run on the whole A and the whole C. I wish there was a Trailblazer for the whole B. Let's see how that spindle looks since they color match them. Alright, about what I would expect. It's subtle, it looks good, it blends in well. I like the lighting on the other side. Not horrible, not horrible. What's up, Space Poseidon? How you doing? Let's break this back in as we get ready to jump over to the Pyro system. I really hope after that hotfix that the game runs a little better than it did last time we tried doing this, because that was a wee bit rough. Quick message to the wife. She's at the gym, getting it in. We're back to sharing a car, so she's graciously allowed me to use hers to work in the morning. Then she goes in the gym around this time so I can stream. We've got this figured out. Doing well, just got home from work. I got home from first job to get into my more enjoyable second job. I'm doing okay, doing okay. I really, really hope that the game holds together today. We are going to be running some high-level hauling contracts, as the name suggests. We're on a really good server. We're US bound at 30 FPS, which is awesome. I want to tackle those 400Kers that we were trying to grab on the 30K fiasco we had Friday, which really sucked. So we're gonna knock that out today. We're gonna do this, pretty much just gonna be hauling, hanging out, you know, seeing what kind of contracts we can get done, seeing how the whole B holds together. She's officially in my hangar. I went ahead and pledged her with store credit. And also want to give you guys a heads up. I don't know if you guys are into the racing side of things. I'm going to be enjoying time on my second YouTube channel, which might not be linked in the description. Maybe I can adjust that while we're in Quantum. Once we get to the other system, that might be a better time to try to do that. But I am going to be playing and streaming Forza Horizon 6 when it comes out next month. Around the same time we're doing all of our Invictus stuff with Star Citizen, as well as plenty of other games. So if you enjoy hanging out with me while we try out different games or are interested in other games, yeah, racing culture is a real big part of my my enjoyment sphere as well. So that channel, Gaming with Deadwake, is going to be covering all of that stuff, anything not Star Citizen. So right now it's really heavily focused on Windrose. Forza Horizon 6 is going to be on that channel amongst whatever the hell else is really cool that we all want to hang out and play together, basically. So let me go ahead while we're cruising over to this gateway. I'll grab up that channel for you guys. Really excited for Forza. Alright, is this going to be pretty easy to... You'll know it's me because I literally took my profile picture and just mirrored it the other way. It's already got 41 subscribers. Awesome. Appreciate all the early love. On Wednesdays, this is the channel that I will be streaming to on YouTube. Twitch and Kick will be just the same channel you guys are already on, because it's already Deadweight Gaming. And I don't really know how picky Twitch is with algorithms. YouTube's the one that's a bit bitchy about that. So that's why there's the second YouTube channel. Your new channel is linked in the description of this stream. Awesome. Cool. Well, just in case, I went ahead and threw it in the actual chat too. Let me alt-tab out of that so I can hear Star Citizen again and start slowing down. Thank you for that, AT. But yeah, that channel isn't going to be specific to any one game. That's going to be this is the other channel where I play whatever the hell, or stream whatever the hell is just fun, whatever we want. Again, right now, it's mostly Windrose. When Forza Horizon 6 comes out, that's probably going to take over for a while. And the main focus is still here with Star Citizen. That channel is kind of for fun on the side. It's not a main focus, but should be a good time. Great to see you back in the B. Is this a pledge? It is. Yes, it is officially mine. I don't know if I'm going to keep this Horizon paint. I don't know. We'll see if it grows on me. But yeah, the ship is mine. I went and melted a bunch of paints on ships that I forgot that I had already melted and had some extra store credit. And I didn't want to deal with the struggles of the Hermes, and I need more time in the ship, honestly, because I want to be able to do follow-up reviews on it and have some more fun with it. Hopefully we get through Nyx in this one go here. The B hasn't earned itself a name yet, Ruck. Not yet. I'm sure we'll come up with something. Alright. But once we get into Pyro, we'll probably set our spawn at Nyx Gateway just to have somewhere in Pyro set. And then we'll go hunting for some missions. For the people who care on Twitch, if it doesn't block links... Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. No, it shouldn't. Looks like the link came through for me. Yeah, anybody who watches on Twitch and Kick doesn't really have to worry because I'm just going to be streaming to that same channel. But to have the YouTube, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. No videos on there yet. It's probably going to mostly just have the VODs from live streams and maybe some stuff I'll get into, like little guides if it doesn't take too much time, like, you know, some pro tips on Windrows or whatever other game might come up. Little tips and tricks we've learned from playing way too much of that game. Come on, Pyro, 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 please. It looks like Pyro. Yes. Beautiful. We are moving fast. Here comes the blackout. Oh, okay, there it is. I thought for a second we might get away with it. All right. I want to quickly get touchdown on one of those pads, set my med spawn, and then we'll get to work. No such thing as too much Windrows. Facts. Yeah, and for anybody who is curious, I did some background grinding on Windrows. Not like crazy. I still have the same ship, but I went ahead and got the gear set I liked and found a sword that I really liked, the Dueling Greatsword. And I got all of my gear up to about level 5. So, since I only play on that game about once a week on the stream, it would have really fell behind if I didn't do a little back-end makeup on it. That was a little close to that guy. Alright, let's go ahead and get those shields up just in case. We're in Pyro, so you never know. Here we are. But don't worry, as for the Swabi Hakun, the set and upgrades all match the original goal of a beefy tank powerhouse kind of a player. I think it'll be a lot of fun on Wednesday when we jump back in that world. Yeah, the Dueling Greatsword is awesome. I've come to like that for quite a while. It's nice to actually be putting it to use. I like the retaliation effect when you do perfect blocks with it. That's kind of nasty. Alright, so what's your build looking like on the Hull B? We're actually running a lot different than we did earlier. Or previously when I had the ship. We were running a full stealth build. Now we've got more of just a quick, no-nonsense, move-fast build. What the actual... Oh, that's fitting. Well, I'll talk about the build while we sit here sideways on nothing. We got a JS400 power plant that was sitting on the Hermes. We got a Hemera quantum drive to get around Pyro pretty quick and efficient. We're rocking some Lorica shields and icebox coolers. What are we on? Why do I have no... Alright, I don't want to blow myself up because of how the Hull B acts sometimes. I don't really know what's happening here. I'm gonna get out of here just so I can set my med spawn before I end up dying from some stupid accident. I'll have to show you my current build at some point. Oh, hell yeah. I know I need to get back on there with you. Alright, let's close this up. Maybe we can hop into some of that tonight. That'd be fun. I don't want to try anything with the Hull B until I've set my med spawn because this ship is notoriously fragile. Oh, that was weird. And likes to blow up. So I'm going to go do that first so I don't end up back in Nyx. There must have been some invisible thing from another ship here that I like bumped into. I don't really know what happens, but or I don't wonder, have they patched out the Hull B's weird tendency to blow up randomly? Pad 2, remember that. But yeah, we'll come back out and try to figure out what's wrong with the B. Well, the Weeble is not the name of your Hull B. Weeble. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, I feel stupid right now. I'm thinking of Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all that's popping in my mind at the moment. Oh, we got some deliciously crisp Caribe pineapple cider, or Caribe. It's freaking delicious, man. Way better bottled than in the can. If you get a chance to try this, I definitely would have it in the bottle. Someone mentioned it was patch, just might not, or might just be hearsay. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have some fun messing around. Where am I going? I need to go to medical. Caught myself. It's over here. We'll take our shields off and bump into something and see if it explodes.
Hey.
Here we go. Here we go.
Thanks.
Why do I think Deadwake's too young to know that? What, the Weeble reference? Transfer imprint. Alright, now you got me. I feel like this is something I should know. Oh my god, that's why. I had one of those growing up. That's why it's familiar. Yeah, no, you're correct. You're correct. It is not behaving like a Weeble. Alright. Yeah, I used to love making my dog chase him. Because we had a tile floor, and I would slide out on the floor, and it would start spinning and trying to right itself, and my dog would go crazy. On some Texel's Skumkopf beer. There's also a lager version of the Caribe. Actually, now that you mentioned that. That too. I think it's actually Caribe. My wife calls it Caribe. I think she's just being funny, but the little tilde on the E there, that should be Caribe. It's good stuff, though. I love me some good ciders. Also a big fan of adults root beer, like Not Your Father's root beer. And I can never remember the others. There's a few others I had while I was in San Diego that I really liked. I wonder if I'll be able to get back into this way. Let's see. Let's have some fun with this. Oh. I was able to. Oh, it's so weird. The gravity of the airlock was able to hold me upright. That is funny. Let's see what happens. It's a pretty fitting start to the adventure, right? We got a drunk ship. I was sipping on Caribbean back in January while I was on a cruise. Hell yeah. That actually, they have them. Oh my gosh. Where did... Oh, when my wife and her dad, when he was visiting, when they went to Epcot, of all places, they actually had the Caribe lager there. We had never seen it there before. All right. Can I retract the landing gear? I think it detects me on the ground, which won't let me. So that's a no. Can I... Ooh! Oh, that was easy. All right, all I had to do was strafe to starboard, and we picked right up. Awesome. Well, I guess before we get hauling ass away from here, let's see if we got any contracts nearby. So, what did I just hit? That was weird. Okay. So we can get 2 of these. Endgame Rod's Fuel, Endgame Deadly Daughters. So both of these have a pickup from Endgame. So let's do that. Let's see if the missions will accept properly. That's 800k in missions right there. I hope that the other one doesn't go away. Should say from location. It switched it. I'm not hitting anything. Something's beeping in the background. What's up, Saucy Jake? I want to see if there's any others from Endgame. What was the other one that we had? We got to collect from Deadly Daughters and Endgame. Let's go ahead and set course for Endgame. It's really out of the way. And we will definitely be using some quantum route planning to figure out our travels as we go. Wow, Dudley's real close. That must mean the other way is in-game. Because it didn't let me navigate to it. There it is. I was on an adventure like you and I took an arrow in the knee. Wait, what? Where was this, Dragon? How do you think the FH6 is going to pan out? In my opinion, they fumbled a bit on 4 and 5. See, that's what I'm worried about. So, actually, I'm curious what you let me know what you think about 4 and 5. Because my buddy Mugen and I, that's going to probably be playing this a lot. I imagine Kuza and Mugen and I will be playing this a lot. If Ruck's into car games or just hanging out with us playing, maybe we'll see him there too. Maybe some of you guys in the world. But we had such a blast with Horizon 4, and Horizon 5 was sick. I loved it, man. The Mexican landscape and all, it was really, really cool. Where they drastically messed up was Forza Motorsport that came out after 5. It was a mess, dude. It was a train wreck. It barely played. They put it out too soon because they were trying to, like, max on some, like, quarterly shit like, you know, AAA game studios like to do. The money got in the way of a good game, which is all too common. Which is why I am super nervous about Horizon 6 actually being in good condition when it comes out. But I'm hoping that they had the sense to learn from their mistakes and come out swinging with an incredible game this time, especially because they know that indie studios are killing it right now, dude. Windrose is a great example. Ubisoft is breaking over backwards to try to make Black Flag relevant again because of how good Windrose is doing. I mean, not to mention all the other pirate games like Skull and Bones and all that just flopped. They just went to shit. So I'm hoping that knowing that indie studios exist, like the makers of JDM, which if you haven't played it, is an amazing Japanese drifting game that came out from a small studio, and it is genuinely fun. Maybe we'll play some of that on the other channel around the time Forza's coming out to kind of give you an idea. Probably play a little bit of Horizon 5 as well to sort of pregame for Horizon 6. But I hope, knowing that smaller studios are kicking ass, that Turn 10 comes out swinging hard with Horizon 6. It looks really good. It looks beautiful, but it's really easy to sell a lot of pretty images. The game actually playing well is a different story, so we'll see. I am hopeful but skeptical with how it's going to come out. We'll see. Cargo Vroom, hell yeah. So what happened? Quick question. I'm trying to do Red Wind Junior hauling contracts and pirate using an aux or rat, but when I go to collect, nothing is there. So there's a lot of weird stuff that happens. You want to double check. I've had issues where some stations just don't have anything to pick up. I've seen that with the whole C, and I haven't figured out a workaround there. I did see a reply from Cap Jennings. It's an odd bug. It only got cargo at one location. The other two are blank. It can be skipped. So I've seen that work in Stanton, but I've also had issues in Pyro so far where just a single contract with only one pickup just didn't pop up. That actually happened on the last live stream on Friday. It was one of our 266K missions. One of the 560 SUs of waste just didn't populate when we were doing our testing. That can be really frustrating, and it happens that not only that in Pyro, but in the past, if you tried to deliver too many missions off to the same place, you would often find yourself with the station not accepting that cargo. It just ends up going down as like a regular personal cargo and doesn't register it as mission cargo. So Pyro can be weird. I'll have to do some more hauling in Pyro to hopefully come up with an answer for you. But yeah, the short end of it is that expect missions to screw you and just kind of like brush it off and just do another one. Trust but verify. Yeah, there you go. I remember buying gamies based on the box art. Yeah, right? Actually, I think it was Forza Motorsport 7. It was like the last game that I had pre-ordered, and I actually picked up my copy from GameStop. That was nuts. Just to realize that that was the last time I was going to do that. All right, let's see if there's anything else of the pickup over at Endgame or... Oh, hey, Deadly Dollar. We'll just do this one. I don't know what that other location address is. Maybe we'll get lucky, and it's the one we're going.
Quantum fuel at 75%.
Another good reason for using this ship, man. Good fuel tanks. I hate Ubisoft, but Black Flag updated with more modern graphics might be interested. Yeah, Black Flag was the last like really good game that comes to mind that I played from Ubisoft that like comes up just because we know Assassin's Creed franchise being one of Ubisoft's biggest. But we'll see. My understanding, the last Forzas were made during COVID and used last-gen resources. Forza 6 will be truly next-gen title. I hope so. I really do. After all the coverage on the last Forza flop, which, I mean, eventually that Forza Motorsport became really good. Like, they did fix it. It took a while. And it kind of really destroyed the game's first impression for a lot of players, a lot of fans. But it eventually became a good game. I really hope that they just come out nailing it for Horizon 6, man. I'm super stoked. But I don't want to be heartbroken again. Okay. Now, Endgame is not one of the stations that has an external elevator, which is totally fine. Given that we're in Pyro, it's smart to not do that anyway. Let's go ahead and try to reduce our signature a little bit. Not that it matters. We're flying so hot in this thing. I hope the same, honestly. Whoa. Weird. Our control inputs are being funny. What's happening? Why are we acting up? This isn't good. I'm only able to control the ship attitude control under thrust. What the actual fuck? Why? Why, Star Citizen? This is simple shit that shouldn't be happening. I want to play this game. Stop making me want to play other games. What the f- Why? This makes no sense.
Systems off. Hello. How can Misc help you today? Systems on.
Alright, dude. I don't know what's going on here. Suddenly my sticks weren't registering with the game. They're on, they're fine. I've never had that issue before. We're just gonna Alt F4 and see if we can hop back in. I wouldn't mind so much if it was just a bad fuse, so thrusters didn't work right. But yeah, I had this happen once. Yeah, it's the combination of the little things that gets you a source. It really is. It's the little shit that usually never breaks that randomly does that you're just like, okay. Okay, why? Can we just work? My goodness. All right. See what happens when we try to go back into this noise. Fingers crossed, guys. We'll see. Yo, what's up, Steve? How you doing? People were complaining about this last night. Lovely. So this might be a problem with oh my goodness, the hotfix. The hotfix broke something. Yeah. Yo, Sick Productions. It almost looked like I had it's almost like I had decoupled attitude control. If you're not familiar though, I'm never coupled. I am always decoupled.
Hello. How can Misc
Oh yeah, this is, look at the graphics on my hands. Look at what's weird. Look at my hand. Look at my yoke right now. What is this? What is that? Look at how weird my arms look right now. Where my, it's like the yoke didn't retract. Oh, there it goes. Okay. What's up, Citizen Cal? We're having all kinds of weird problems right now that I don't understand. Okay.
Engines on.
Okay, so that reset my power. I can thrust fore and aft. System's overheating. Whoa! Why was all that off? Okay, I still don't have any attitude control. Unless I'm thrusting. And now it just continues spinning and then stops. So, okay, this is really weird. Wait, is it back? Are we back? I think we're back. Okay, I guess. Alright, whatever. Moving on. Yeah, normal DNSC, exactly. Oh shit. No, we're losing it again. Fuck. No. God damn it. I've lost stick control again. Oh my god, what's happening? Come on, damn it. Huh. Wow. I take my hands off and we just keep spinning. I'm getting a lot of thruster overheating warnings even with full cooler pips. Yeah. This is the kind of stupid shit that makes us play other games. You don't want to do that, but we've got really good games out there like Windrose. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much. God damn it. Are we back? Did that scare you enough? Can we... Alright. Let's get in here. Definitely not going to aim right at the station. Full power off will stop the ship. Yeah, last time I went full power off, I couldn't turn it back on again. I had to Alt F4 to get control, or the ability to hit U to turn the ship back on. It's been a really weird last 10 minutes. Like, we left Nix just fine. We got to Pyro. We were doing fine. We jumped into Quantum from Nix Gateway heading over here. Everything was fine. And then No, not while landing, damn it. You better... There you go. So, it's weird. It's like I have to thrust to... Oh, shit! Why are we... Ooh!
Successful. Launch sequence complete.
What the hell?
Landing successful.
I might have to name this fucker Christine. What the hell, dude? Holy shit. It's that John Tech, my dude. Yeah, no doubt. Yo, what's up, JDM? Well, we landed. I don't know how the hell we managed to land, but... Alright. Let's see if we can take off just enough to expand the ship.
Launch sequence complete.
Alright. What's the worst that can happen while carrying a bunch of cargo, right? I'm sure it'll be alright. It's fine. No biggie.
Engines off.
Everything else seems to be working. Maybe the shard's borked. That would suck because it was doing so good. My ship's not happy. It's like in emergency mode. I think she is haunted. That might become the name of the ship. Some like haunted name for yeah, I should call him Hal. I don't know. I'm getting ideas, Ruck, if you're still in the chat. What's the wear and tear level of your coolers? Freaking, they're not even 10 minutes old, dude. No, a little bit later. They're 20 minutes old. I'll have to check and see. They just got installed. I don't know why I did that. Whatever. Yeah, I'll check once I get back up in there. I second that, Christina. Yeah. Like Stephen King's Christine. The killer car. It's almost what I'm thinking for this. Alright, looks like we got one pickup here. Yeah, we'll check though once we hop back in. We'll take a peek at the engineering terminal and see what's going on. How's it going, man? It's been interesting. It's been a... What is that, too many? That's right, because this is a fucking... Yeah, it's small. Okay. Here, let's just split that off. Send that over. Should be able to send the other small stuff over too. No? No? Okay, fine. Screw you. I'll just send you up then. Kind of looks a little creepy, Christine-like, right? The haunted Hull B. Okay. Wow, this box is really freaking heavy right now. What is that about? Oh, never mind. It's fine now. Well, I don't know. Feels weird. Feels really, really, really weird. There's some funny stuff happening in this server, guys. Shard. These boxes, I can like feel the weight through my freaking mouse. Did they do a little... Holy shit. Did they adjust the tractor beams in that hotfix? No way. Not this much. This has to be shard issue. Pennywise, if you know, you know. Just wondering if the thrusters are wigging out, if it's just standard Star Citizenisms. Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm definitely going to check out when we get back in there. My gosh. Come on. Lift up. Like, go that way. Go the direction I'm pointing. You pain in the ass. Nutty. Okay. It seems like a lot of potassium for the one mission, so hopefully this is both. Jeez. Has anybody else noticed 32 SCU boxes being a lot heavier since the hotfix update? Because it didn't feel like this a couple of days ago when I was throwing boxes around. What gets me is engineering in the whole sea. I swear to God, it sounds like there's ghosts back there. You're totally right. The back of the whole sea feels haunted as hell, man. Come on. Oh my goodness. Would you lift off of the deck, please? Wow. That is not fun. Okay. Send this back down and get the rest of these boxes out. And what I'm really curious is where the pickup for that other mission's actually at. Dudley Daughter's an in-game for this one. Dudley Daughter's in somewhere else. Location, address. That's not supposed to be like that. Let me track it. Alright, where does it say? Oh my gosh. Because we might need to run by to drop off the first half of this before we collect the other two. Wait, seriously? It was at Nick's Gateway? Are you kidding me right now? That's annoying. So I guess maybe if it says location address, that might be one of the gateways. This is all going to Megumi and the other one's going to Ruin. Alright. How do I want to hit this? We got 2 pickups from Dudley. I should be able to fit everything. We'll run to Ruin, and then we'll run down to Nick's, and then run to Megumi from there. Should be alright. Oh boy, come on. Let's go up and at 'em. My gosh. I think it is a new weight thing, because this feels fine, the 16. Not a huge fan of that. That should be all of it. I just thought it was my imagination that 32s were acting kind of like that, but then again, who knows? Yeah, I don't know if that's as intended. I guess we'll see when we get to the other locations, right, Hazard? Given whether or not it's location bound. Wait, what was up? Maybe it's because the whole B has tractor beams. I don't know. These are the C2, not any of the... We'll see. So I don't know if they're bug C2 grid. If you lock the bay, doors on it. Oh, I don't know about any of that. That's... Oh, yeah, wait. Let's check this. Let's see. No, the coolers are 100%. Everything's looking good. Relays are good. Let's see. All systems and connections. I think we just have the one set of fuses, right? We got a relay here. That's in good shape. Everything's in good shape. Well. Alright, Christy. Can I call you Christy for short? I think we got our name, boys. Melted my whole B, got bored of it. I'm ready for May 14th. I could have been. Yeah. It's going to be a good time, dude. Oh, I can't wait to get the ironclad. Okay. We are online. Gear up. Thrusters seem to be acting normal. Oh, very careful not to bump into stuff. I don't know if this thing will just blow up now. It is cool to see all the forward thrusters light up. Alright, so far so good. She's moving as I would hope. We're gonna head over to Dudley. Whoa, overcorrection. Alright. Dudley should be the one that's further away. And alright, navigation's funky. Let's go ahead and fix that. Some weird stuff, but at least we've kept moving. By default, you should have 39% headroom before overheating. Frustrating bugs. Yeah, well, when I was going through my weird troubleshooting phase when things were acting up, I had powered the ship off and then tried to turn it on, nothing was happening. Then I alt F4, came back in, and when I powered the ship on, for some reason the coolers didn't turn on. So when I was trying to move around and fix myself flying around, didn't realize my coolers weren't on. That's when the overheating thing came in. So then I hit pip reset, which put all my power back baseline to everything to turn the coolers back on. So I think that's all that was. Regardless, some weird stuff happening for sure. Shouldn't happen, but... Yo, what's up, Edric? I'm thinking about using the Ironclad as a fuel barge if that Misc Starlight has removable fuel pods. Dude, yeah, if the Starlight is small enough to actually fit in the Ironclad, that'll be massive. We'll see. I'm curious to see how big that thing's going to be. I wonder if the ATLS has the same issues with the 32 boxes. We could try and find out. I doubt it would. It's probably a bit beefier. I wonder if this is them setting us up for... I don't know, incentivizing us to use ship's tractors and ATLS over the max lift rifle. What's up, Solstice? Saw that comment. How you doing? You know what makes the C2 better, actually relevant as a hauler again? If they put a tractor beam, kind of like the Hermes down the middle, there's definitely enough room for it. Yeah, I think the C2 definitely could use a good tractor beam. A good tractor beam being the main thing. Like, I would put an ATLS style tractor beam on a rail in the C2 up top in that little groove where nothing goes. That way it could just pick and place things. Oh man, that would make the C2 by far the best in its class of hauling. Without the tractor beam, I think the whole B beats it because of the ease of loading. But I think with that tractor beam, the C2 would definitely be back on the menu. If you guys were talking about 32 SU boxes of iron not being so easy to move around, that's been a thing for a while. No, it was potassium, of all things. I mean, 32 SU of anything wouldn't necessarily be light, but I was barely able to pick it up off the ground. It was uncharacteristically heavy compared to what I've seen in the past. So I don't know if it was just that area. We'll find out, because we're going to be throwing around a lot more 32 SU boxes. We're zipping around Pyro doing these 400k missions, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, if it's actually in its metallic state, that would be a whole lot of potassium. I wonder what state it would travel in. Oh, now I'm kind of curious. Hang on. I'd imagine it would almost be like in a powder state, though. Let's see. Let's see what Grok says. Star Citizen, I'm transferring 32 SU containers of potassium. What form would that reasonably be in? Powder or something else? Let's see what our AI overlords say. I like the whole B, but it's a little meh. I don't want to melt because I got it concept price last year. Let's see. It would reasonably be a process-stable solid form, most likely ingots, pellets, or granules, or a sealed powder compound rather than loose powder or pure metallic potassium. It's not raw ore. It's not a gas or a liquid. For role-player immersion while hauling a 32 SU, picture it as a silver-gray metallic ingot or dense granule in sealed crates. That's kind of cool to think about. So there we go. There's a little idea of what it would be like. Let me actually double up on that question. How would we transport it in real life? What form would it be in? Whoa, cryogenic. What? No way. Oh, no, wait, Grok's thinking. Sorry. Yahoo, Citizen Kyle with all the gift subs, man. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Everybody who got hit by that gracious passing of subs, give Citizen Kyle a thank you in the chat. Really appreciate the support. While I randomly nerd out over here on transporting potassium in real life, because that's the kind of geek I am. Everybody wave to Nick's Gateway, which had cargo that I didn't realize. Feel really dumb about that one. Bye-bye. Man, Grok is still thinking. Searching the web, gathering all the data. Okay, in real life, elemental potassium metal, the pure K you're moving in Star Citizen. Oh my god, he's moving faster than I can look. Holy shit. Hate when that happens. Is extremely reactive. It oxidizes instantly in air and explodes on contact with water. So, large quantity transport strictly regulated as a hazardous material. UN 2257 class 4.3 dangerous when wet. See, we need hazard qualifications for cargo in Star Citizen and get like a better payout for it. Like American Truck Simulator. That'd be so cool. Alright, it never ships loose as raw powder or exposed. It would be in solid metallic form as ingots, blocks, lumps, pieces, or pellets, completely submerged in mineral oil or something, or sometimes kerosene or toluene inside sealed containers. Oil acts as a barrier to prevent oxidation and basically prevents it from going boom. Cool. Hey, we learned something new today, guys. Well, some of you guys might have known that if you're in the trucking world, but hey, yeah. Potassium, kind of like sodium in the salt experiments in chemistry class. Potassium is very reactive. Makes things go boom. Oh. Guess I gotta preemptively thanks. In what form would a Deadwake travel? Hopefully alive, and not in the form of a metal ingot. How's it going? Hi, it's Tina. Good to see you. You excited about the upcoming refueling missions? Imagine you get an unscrupulous packer who just throws it in a plastic baggie. For real? It's like if you're running the more expensive, like unverified hauling missions, and you're getting this container, and on the outside is just like a hazmat symbol, and you're like, "What the hell are you transporting?" It's like, well, powdered form potassium. Careful, it's a little volatile. That'd be so sick. The whole left side of the periodic table is highly reactive with water. Yes. Yeah. That's a good point. Alright, hello, Dudley Daughters. It's one of those stations you never really go to unless you're a hauler. Materials that are hazardous to transport do exist in SC, and such things have been mentioned as a type of cargo job. Probably be reputation locked, so high rep players rather than actual hazard certifications. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool if it was like behind rep, but it came with like, I don't know, some kind of like hazard pay bonus, or maybe you get bonuses for like how fast you deliver, like how good condition the materials are in when you deliver, which is how we all kind of just bang stuff around, me included. I would love to see all that come into play. Alright. Let's get over here to this hangar. We're doing another pickup. And then we will zip over to Ruin to drop off the first load, run back to Nix to pick up the last bit of the second load, and then run it over to Megumi and probably pick up some missions while we're on the way. Start developing a bit of a flow if we can. Fortunately, we seem to have standard control of the vehicle back. I don't really know what the hell happened earlier, but it appears to be back to normal for the most part. So that's good. I need to get used to how far in I need to pull for the back to be right where I want it. That's too far back. Nope, nope, nope. More forward. Oh, come on. Why are we... Yo, this thing is touchy. Alright. There we go. Alright, now where is... Okay, that's not too hard to remember. Alright, kill those engines. Let's go get this load. Hologram has zoom issues. She wanted a name, yes. She got it. I'd rather not have a haunted ship, but I guess she's got some personality, right? I feel like my mouse sensitivity is way too high right now. Come on, Razer. I hate when you have to click on something twice because it just like ignores you the first time. Release notes? Oh, there was a... Oh, man, that's when my shit got messed up. There's an update. Now she purrs, right? I hope she stays that way. I'm okay with that. It's all you needed was a name, shit. Alright, Basilisk performance. Yeah, no, we're still at 800, so... I'm just feeling overly sensitive, I guess. Alright. Well, this should all fit. Hope. Well, nope. Not like that. I definitely agree with everybody about the elevators being too small for the amount of cargo you're supposed to be bringing up. Man, I hope we fit everything. This would be annoying if it didn't. Come on. So the waste doesn't feel as heavy. It's like flying around. It's moving pretty well. It's not as bad as the potassium was, that's for sure. It might have been a weird server issue, like an actual server issue. Whoops. No, where's that gonna land? Oh god. Where did that land? Wait a minute. We just have a missing... Did that grid? No way. Oh, shit. Hi. There it is. Apparently it had more momentum than I thought it did. All right. I'm excited for the new refueling missions. I'll be all over that, but I wonder if that preview pick is a new ship or just a rework of an old one. I think it's a new one. I think it's like a mini version of a Starfarer. It's probably going to be very Prospector inspired, if I had to guess. But it'll have fuel pods instead of mining pods. So, I don't think it'll be like a revolutionarily new design, but I guess we'll see. Ship kind of acts like my ex-wife, all nice and smiling, and it's the moment you turn your head, boom, right hook, she freaks out. Oh, man, that's what it seems like. Here we go, up and at 'em. Up. Whoa, whoa, oh, shit, the whole ship's, god damn it, what's happening? Oh, my god. Bro, are you kidding me right now? Oh, well, Sully, I was good. This is bad. This is really bad. What do you think the odds are that we can store her like this without her going boom? She rotated like a tire. Yeah, dude. Holy cow. Well, maybe we can just make her go the other way. That's not how you do it. I just need the boxes to behave and go up. No. She's gonna spin on her back all nice and easy, but I bet she won't right herself. Ah. The thing is, these boxes move weird. They want to go down before they go up. That's what she said. This is dumb. Ow. Oh, God, I'm gonna get myself killed under this damn thing. Ooh. Well, hey, be warned if you log out, there's an update before you see update. I already did that. That was the hotfix update that came out. I did that before we went live. I wonder, maybe I can hook her by the leg and pull her. This is the kind of weird stuff that happens. It just makes you go, really? Well, yeah, this happened. There is a potential solution, though. It might end horribly, but the ATLS fits into that port. We're gonna try some things, guys. Storing and retrieving is an option. I also feel like that's going to purple the ship, so I'm going to make that my last resort. It might be smart, actually, in that case, to pull all the cargo off of it, though. I can just put all the cargo back on instead of losing it. There she goes. Boom, I lose everything. That's a real bad day. So, in case you didn't know, apparently you can turn your whole B into a roly-poly. It's not ideal. Some accuracy is needed to make that jump. Yes. You are not wrong. Holy shit. No, it wasn't the area. It's the potassium. It's just incredibly heavy. My gosh. Let me go ahead and send this down. I don't really need to send it down. I can just... Well, yep, I will. Because I gotta get the geo up. The rest of this I'll just put off to the side. Wait a minute. Hold on. New plan. We might be able to just use good old weight transfer to move her over. Glad to see Hull B. Hopefully the bugs get fixed soon. Yeah, this is an interesting experience that I was not expecting to have. All right. Maybe like make it like a ballast to put the really heavy potassium on the underside and put the waste on the top side? Maybe? Don't you clip through any walls. You stay there. Soon, trademark. Up, up, up. Go up. Damn it. There we go. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted you to do. Up and over? Wait a minute, man. This potassium's heavy enough. Oh my gosh. This is so frustrating. Get... Alright. That didn't do a damn thing. Okay. Come on. Dude, these potassium boxes are gonna piss me off. Holy shit. These are too light. Come here. No, not you. What the hell? Get out of the damn hangar door, please. I don't think that plan was gonna work. Hold on. Wait a minute. Ugh. Oh! Oh, shit! Yo! Shh. Oh, God. Whoa! Oh, we did it! I didn't realize that door had rolled so low. Oh, man, that'll give... Whoop, not that way. That'll give you some whiplash. Do a flip! Okay. This is the part that could blow us up. See, this is why I dogfight. Up. Hey. No, no, no. No, no. Stop it. Chrissy. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. You know, this is fitting right in with my reputation of dealing with pain-in-the-ass ships. I think we're going to make sure we put all the potassium ventral so that it kind of acts like a ballast and keeps the weight low. Oh, shit. The whole bitch. Yes, that'll be her nickname. Gosh, dude. All right. So, yeah, I want these heavy ass boxes here at the bottom. go. Just to help her not be quite as likely to tip over. Actually, having one of these in the back on the other side is probably a good idea. Come on. Why are you... Why? Why are you lifting the ship up? Alright, fine. Good lord, bro. Go that way. Now you come up there, and you just slide back, since you want to be a pain in the ass. Oh, there it is. There you go. Man. Alright. Now the rest. It's funny how you did something similar when your cutting was slipped. We do the funniest things to try to adapt to our situation, right? Okay. Here we go. You go over top. I'm gonna make sure I don't hit the ship so it doesn't decide it's gonna flip on me again. And now we'll start loading the lighter stuff up top. We don't need the ATLS anymore. We'll just grab the stuff we sent down, which actually should have been a little bit of potassium too, right? We can do all the rest. Let's go. Awesome. In that case, I might actually put this back up here. I want the heavier 32 SU of potassium on the base. Move all this out real quick. Easy, buddy. Send this one to the other side. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, now up we go. Up and over. There we are. Well. Alright, there it is. The lighter shit can there. The heavier potassium there. Bet we're a lot better balanced now, bro. Every time you sling those 32 potassium crates your way, I'm worried it's just gonna cream you. Yeah, and it will. It will at some point. Just be ready to have a good laugh. I try to avoid that, but sometimes momentum gets to me. Whoa, that did not grab on. There we go. I have been incapped by a an angry 32 SU box before, for sure. Whoa. Oh yeah, I forgot about that waste box. Damn, there's more than I thought. Should be enough room for everything. F8A might be a Squadron 42 reward. What? That'd be crazy. Sign me up for that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see the F8A as early as 4.8, but maybe with the completion of the Squadron 42 gameplay. I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised if the F8C becomes viable again. Yeah, having it as a reward for the completion of Squadron 42 gameplay would be pretty cool. Or like maybe like if there's difficulty levels you can play on, like if you beat Squadron 42 at a certain difficulty or a certain completion of like achievements or whatever the case may be, then maybe you can redeem a token for an F8A. That'd be dope. But that would also mean the potential for a lot of people to get that ship. Which I wouldn't be opposed to, but it's not something that I imagine CIG doing. Guess we'll see. Alright, we're gonna load it up. Either that or F8X, the stealth variant. Oh man, get me too excited thinking about a stealth variant. That'd be sick. Alright, let's get out of here. We got our stuff. Let's head over to Ruin, drop this off, make some money. Get a little payout for the stress we just went through. Yeah, here's the right to buy it. That's a good point. That's probably what it'd be. A token to be able to purchase it for, like, probably double the price of the regular F8, which is already $300. So that would probably be like a $600 to $700 ship. Some of us would do it, though. There was supposed to be a ship you would get an SC for beating Squadron 42. I forget if it was the F7A Mark II or the F8C. But it may be different now. Did you order the Ironclad or the Assault? I got the standard freight.
Engines on.
That is what I'm waiting on. The 2200 SCU freight variant, which I'm very excited for. All right. There we go. Come on. Let me go ahead and set the proper mission here. We'll make sure we refuel over at Ruin Station. All right. And here we go. Boom. Alright, we'll track the mission as well. So all of the potassium that we got... Okay, not all of it actually. Oh no, yeah. Hold up. We're just gonna roll with it. Yeah, all the potassium we got should be going to Ruin, and then we gotta get the rest of the waste. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Feels good to have this thing pretty much fully loaded, so we can handle 2 of these missions. That's 800K worth of cargo, which is awesome. Not all of the second mission is on here. Almost. Probably isn't going to be a whole lot to pick up from Nick's Gateway, if I had to guess. Because it was like 240 and 260, which is pretty much right at the limit of what this thing can hold. The F8A was meant as the reward for completing Squadron 42 and was an upgrade to the F8C, like the Hornet upgrade was. You still have to own the civilian variant first. That's a pretty good kind of pathway, I guess, to getting the ship, right? So you gotta originally drop the money or have the gold ticket or whatever to get the F8C, which I'm a happy owner of, and then I guess with the completion of Squadron 42 you can then upgrade your C to an A. I think that that would be a good way for them to not make it to where everybody on the planet has an F8A, because for those who end up getting it, kind of feels special, like a trophy. I don't know, I guess we'll see. I'm not usually a fan of like gatekeeping certain things, but things that have been gatekept for so long that they've like built this value behind it, like the F8, it would be pretty shitty to all of the people that have gone through hell and back to either get the Wicklow variant or to wait and melt a bunch of stuff to buy it like I did when it finally went out, or whatever the case may be, it would be kind of a smack in the face, you know, if everybody just got the F8A. There's a pilot in Free Fly, Super Freak. He's an F8C main and genuine ace. I fear the day he gets an A. I've actually fought him quite a bit. I see him in the Arena Commander. I almost beat him once, but yeah, he's pretty nasty. He's pretty tough. There was a guy that was in there with us that was in a Guardian that they were actually going back and forth. I don't remember who was flying in the Guardian MX, but he was able to keep up, and I think he got maybe 1 or 2 kills on Super Freak. I crippled him really bad once, but he still managed to get me. It was frustrating because we were both hitting each other pretty consistently, and I would even get early hits on him, and he would still somehow manage to kill me before I could kill him, and it got aggravating. I probably fought him like 10 times in a row in different kinds of ships, and eventually I just went F8 versus F8, and I was able to handle him a lot better in another F8. Same build. We were both running the GT series Gatling builds. This was before the engineering upgrade. I wonder what he's flying now, or like what weapon complement he's probably using now. I'd imagine he might be running an NDB and then cannon build, or he might be running a ballistic Gatling build. I haven't seen him in a while. Alkaline Hawk. Oh, as the other pilot? I have no idea. I can't remember, honestly. It's been so long. I was so focused on him. It was funny because, like, after fighting him back to back for like probably half an hour, we eventually just kind of started fighting other people to kind of mix it up because he was getting challenged by some others and some others were challenging me. After that, I ended up taking out like the next 10 people in a row with my F8. It was almost like being in the hyperbolic time chamber, like duking it out and training, so that when I had like a wolf, a couple of gladius and arrows, some guy in a cutty came up, which is just kind of funny. But after going so hard against Super Freak, when I just took out all of my frustration on everybody else I fought after that, and it was just a slaughter fest, dude, until one guy eventually came out in an arrow, another ace who actually knew Super Freak, and he managed to get the close on me. He got into that knife fight position in the arrow and was able to take me out. I almost put him down too, but he got me before I could finish him. He made me drain all my boost, and I just was not able to get away. That was a fun day. That was several hours I spent in Arena Commander that day. That was a good time. That was 4.6 too. That was like right before 4.7 came out. Starter ship was the cutter. I won the Shiv. Can I combine those 2 ships and get another ship? I don't think you can do that. You could potentially melt those 2 ships if that's what you're asking, to get another ship. I hate the fact that you can only really use pledge ships in Arena Commander. Can't dogfight in a Hull B, and I hate the arrow. Yeah, well, you can use rental tokens to get other ships too, which if you don't have a whole lot of rental stuff, then, you know, that can be a limiting factor for sure. Because I'll typically end up renting some good components to fight with, depending on what ship I'm going in. I also like to go in pretty stock and then like change the main guns to something that's really just a normal PvP main weapon. Because, I mean, a really good pilot will be able to take out somebody who's a lesser tier than them with max components. Like, if the really good pilot has basically stock stuff, it won't matter. This is one game where your skill will definitely outshine any upgrades you have to your ship. The currency you see in the Arena Commander, never figured out how to get them. Yeah, you can just use that to rent ships, to rent weapons and stuff. Actually, okay, I know you can use them to rent components and weapons. I'm not sure about entire ships. I might be wrong on that front. It might just be the components and weapons that you can use the rental credits for. But yeah, it's that other currency you have in your hangar. I think you can. Yeah, I'm just not 100% certain right now. Chips as well. Okay. Yeah, that's the currency that comes with all the purchases you make, like pledges and all, that you can spend in Arena Commander. But it all has time limits too, so that kind of sucks. Like, that's why I call them rentals, because you're not going to be able to keep the stuff you use those credits for in Arena Commander. It'd be kind of cool if it was like in Arena Commander only, you spent this money on this stuff, you should be able to keep it. But on the list of priorities, that's probably not a very high one. Can't rent anything but the Arrow with the amount I have. Ah, it's fair. The Arrow is a fantastic fighter, man. In the hands of a skilled pilot, that thing is nasty. In our current combat meta, I put the cannons on the size 1s and some repeaters on the size 3s. It is a good time. Alright, let's see if we can kind of get our landing zone properly here. Come in about right there. Should be pretty good, yeah, kind of far back. All right, that's what I want. What repeaters? So on my Arrow, I'm running the NN13s and the NDB30s. My brain just turned off. Jeez. I was asked that question. Holy cow. There we go. Outside of that, I hate the light strikes, so I don't really want to recommend doing like a light strike CF build. But yeah, I guess that's probably the only other one you would really want to run. Unless you're okay with having dual pips, then you could run some Omnis, the Omni 5s or 6s or 4s, whatever the hell the size 1 Omni cannons are. And then run some Panthers as your lasers. Complete online versions of the game modes all the way through and you earn credits to rent things. Oh, cool. So I run the 13s for the cannons because they're the size 1s on the Arrow. You could do a full cannon build though. You could run NN13s and 15s. Wouldn't be a bad option. It's nice to have the higher fire rate of the NDB30s added in there. But yeah, if you happen to be fortunate enough to have NDB30s, then running the NN13s as the size 1 cannons and the NDB30s under your wings is pretty solid. But not everybody's gotten their hands on NDBs. Here we are. Hopefully the way I take these stuff off, the ship doesn't end up rolling again. Come on. My Super Hornet currently has 2 Omni 9s and 4 NN15s, but downtime sometimes is not ideal. So I would split it up a bit. I'd run the 2 size 4 Omnis and maybe 2 NN15s and some NDB30s. Or go full repeaters on your size 3 since you already have cannons on your wings. That's what I do. So my Ghost has a 4-3-2 setup. So I run the NN14s, NDB30s, and the what the hell? No. Dude, are you fucking kidding me, you piece of shit? It just fell through the floor. Ugh. All of that time, and we're about to get fucked on this mission because of that stupid shit. Come on. Whatever. Frustrating. But yeah, running a cannon repeater build, like cannons on your wings, repeaters for everything else, is pretty solid. Let's just throw these over here. Damn. I'm really annoyed that that frickin' potassium just fell through the damn floor. That's so stupid. I wonder what kind of payout we're gonna get now. It's probably... That's a good amount of cargo to randomly lose. That wasn't even in a spot that would normally swallow your cargo, too. Might be able to see it if you store your ship. Oh, we can try. I don't hold my breath at all. I never get that lucky. Usually if I get screwed, I get thoroughly screwed. Alright. Yeah, it fell outside of it. It fell here in this space between the hangar wall. And I don't think I'm far enough forward for this thing to store properly. And frankly, don't really care to find out. Because I don't want to move the ship, to send it down, to maybe see it, maybe not see it. So we're just going to submit it and see what happens. How much should we get paid for that? You going to tell me? Of course you're not. Why would you? You should. It should be right frickin' here. Whatever. On your Super Hornet, I would try the 4 NDBs. Try running the 2 Omnis on the wings and the 4 NDBs. See how you like it. If you feel like you need a little bit more cannon penetration, then put like the 2 cannons on your nose and like the NDBs up on your turret, or other way around, whichever way you want to do it. But yeah, I'd try out the 4 NDBs. It's a pretty solid combo. The Omni 9s on, or no, it should be Omni 12s on your wings. It should be size 4s on your wings, and then the 4 NDB 30s. Am I the one that opened the floodgates for all the 4.8 leaks? Me? What makes you think that? Or somebody in the chat? For future reference, I've had issues where after an Alt F4, the whole B was collapsed the cargo. Oh, jeez. Yeah, if the NDBs did go poof, you could try the build running... yeah, you could probably try running with some Panthers. See if the pip spread is too annoying for you, if it ends up being manageable. I really struggle to recommend using any kind of ballistics because you're going to waste so much ammo just waiting to be able to get to the point where you can actually do damage. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I already completed the mission, but it says the potassium's like there under the floor. That's such a dick move. It's just there. Saying hi. Alright, back to Nyx to get the rest of that one. Jesus, how much fucking... What? Why? Alright, moving on. Yeah, it's probably pretty accurate. I'd imagine most leak content would come from people who are data mining. We did forget to refuel, but we should have plenty of fuel to get back to Nyx Gateway. Oh, is it T since we know you're Ivacati? Yeah. Well, anything that's in Ivacati, I'm going to talk about. I don't really consider that leaks. Leaks usually come before Ivacati stuff comes out. So the hot fix is the hot dud. Well, I mean, I haven't been 30K'd yet, so I guess in that way it's an improvement. Now, the only thing as I can confirm from Ivacati so far are the limit to the amount of accepted quests you can have, because now there's an accepted number out of 10 that'll appear next to your accepted here. It's going to be like in parentheses. It'll be like 0 out of 10 if you don't have a mission, and you know that should be pretty self-explanatory. And then under your mission tab, underneath salvage, you're going to have a refueling option, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, the MFD over here, this hologram of your ship in the corner, has way more detail. Like, they've redone it. It's larger, better textured. It's not quite so transparent like this. It's a bit more like a physical model. slightly transparent. It's the only thing that come to mind off the top of my head, though. Have you messed with insurance yet? I have no idea what you're talking about. Like claiming your ship? Client-side hotfix was to fix some client-side crashes, stability issues, apparently. Yeah, which hopefully would prevent our possible 30K problems. Might mean ship loadouts. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about insurance or loadouts or anything. Our Omni is better than the M5A purely because of 1400 versus 1000. Yeah. So that and their recharge rate. The Omnis have a slightly faster capacitor recharge rate, so they come back a little bit faster. But yeah, they're more accurate. They have a really good damage balance. It's kind of like the attrition versus CF repeaters versus NDBs sort of thing. So if you're going to run an attrition build, you pair it with the M-series cannons, and that is a devastating, heavy-hitting, high-alpha damage build. But they're not going to be as accurate. So it depends on what ships you're going after. If you're primarily going after light fighters, if you're primarily going after players, or PvE, like NPC ships. NPC ships are getting more and more competent over time, but still, you can mog NPC ships pretty well with attritions and all. The attrition M-series cannon combo is actually a lot of fun. Ship loadouts are supposed to use some sort of claim system like claiming a ship, and I'm not Evo. Seems first iteration seems to have insurance. You can save everything on your ship, even guns in the gun rack that will be disabled after 300 seconds of claim. I got some stuff to try out in Evo then. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I did hear that we're starting tier 1 of item recovery or tier 0 item recovery or whatever, which basically is where once you claim your ship, it bricks everything on it. So not just like things in your gun rack, but if you try to loot a ship, like NDBs, for example, or components, if that ship's been claimed, or whenever that ship does get claimed, the components you have are bricked. So if that's what you meant by insurance, yes, I know about that. Yeah, Mordecai, you might actually have a lot of fun trying out an M-series cannon attrition build combo. You probably really, like, that'll shred PvE ships, like NPC ships like crazy. Yeah, yes, Edric, it is absolutely going to mess up salvage gameplay. 100%. And it's, so, the next step beyond this, though, this is just the first step because of all these fuckers out there that have duped to Kingdom Come and messed this up for us because they're exploiting the game. The eventual goal is to be able to take those bricked items and sort of unlock them or jailbreak them. Whether it's by crafting means or by paying for it, the next stage is to be able to reactivate or utilize in some way those bricked components. Supposed to be able to fix bricked items via craft. Exactly. Yeah. What Edric said. Yeah. How long that's going to take? Who knows? That might be next year. It's like, it's really hard to guess. But yeah, for a while, it's really going to nerf treasure hunting, so to speak, like looting ship components, which sucks. It's going to completely kill that whole side of salvage gameplay. Aside from, and this is probably why they did it, the ability to turn those items into complete missions. Because if you notice, you know, we have those salvage missions now where you turn in certain size components or whatever. If they're bricked anyway and they don't sell for shit, then using them to complete missions to rep up with Adagio is kind of the only other thing you can do with them. So, yeah, I hope we get some rapid iteration on salvage gameplay, because this is going to hurt it pretty bad for a while. Because that's the biggest motivation, is to go out and find good components for your own ships. So we'll see what happens. We might take our chances out here and see if we can use the external freight elevators for time's sake. Slater brought up that you can now dismantle those components. Well, I'll have to take a peek at that. I hadn't had a whole lot of time to actually get into the Evocati build, which I did update, so I can try to check that out now. So now players will make high-end components and then destroy their ship and get them again. Oh, yeah, lovely. So the losers that dupe will just continue to dupe. Awesome. Now, I'm pretty sure they thought of that, so there's probably going to be some other fixes and patches that break that too. Imagine a world where people just played the game and stopped trying to break the damn game. If only, right? Does repair also brick replaced items? Yeah, that's another thing, because that's another way people duplicate, is just by pulling their shit off and then hit repair to pay for it, which is weird. I'm a little bit more conflicted on that one, because you're paying for the component, so you're not really getting it for free. But if it's a component you're not really supposed to be able to get your hands on super easily, then yeah, you are kind of circumventing the difficulty of getting that part. Alright. Screw this. I'm just going to use external view to make this a little faster here. There we go. Alright. Parking brake set. Somehow the back of our ship is red. So we're still real fragile. Love it. You know, never mind. I need to go repair and refuel anyway, so let's just go ahead and get a hanger. Because apparently we got all jacked up already. You think I should try 2 M6As, 2 attritions, and 2 dominance 3s? I would just go 4 attritions. The scatter guns really require you to be right up next to them, like in their face. If you were gonna do the scatter gun approach, I would do all 4. I wouldn't half them. I mean, you can try that, but if it were me, I would just go with 4 attrition 3s and 2 M6As. Wait. M5s are the size 3s. Yeah, M6As. Those are the size 4s. Alright.
Landing success. Engines off.
What do you think if everything had item IDs so you couldn't dupe something you already have? Granted, I know the backend would not handle that amount of content tracking without dying horrible death. Yeah, that's so my opinion there is it's not a practical solution, so it's not really worth considering. If it was a practical solution, which would basically create sort of like an NFT for every single component that we buy, yeah, that's not feasible. In some hypothetical world, sounds great, but yeah, I don't see that being much of a solution here. I don't remember which ship the Legionnaire is, or like what its ship role is going to be. I know I've heard of it, but I can't recall its immediate purpose right now, or even who makes it. Let's go ahead and hydrate. It's a boarding ship? I really don't know anything about it. Dropships have not really had any like actual practical use, to my knowledge, aside from like roleplay. Unless you got a big enough group where you can actually do something like that with an org. They've mostly been kind of gimmicky daily driver ships, if you think about it. Like, you know, our Cuddies, our Asgards, Valkyries, whatever, our M2 Hercules, they end up just being used as like daily cargo, kind of do everything ships, carry vehicles versus actual drops. Supposed to hack open the docking collar and force docking. If that's the case, I put that as a very far off thing. I don't know. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is where we're supposed to pick up one of our things. So is this one of those missions where we got jacked up? Or is it one of those missions where everything's already on board? It might have gave us everything. Which, that's actually probably what happened. Let's just head to Megumi and drop it off. So this is the thing that came up earlier in the chat. So I've officially seen it happen here in Pyro. That's why my ship was so full. Damn, we could have just ran right to Megumi. That'd have been a lot faster to make 800k. I was just wondering if it can do more than just boarding and drop ship, just using it every day for a bunker run, stuff like that. Probably. I imagine most folks are going to use it like that or find a way to. That seems to be the normal, you know, pathway for using these ships is... Okay, cool. I hear what the ship's supposed to be able to do. Can I daily drive it? I think that's what most people end up doing.
Landing gear up.
Helmet. What? I'm inside my ship. Why helmet? I know my helmet's off. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, it'd be cool to see what that thing does in its actual working function. All right, let's... are we not tracking a mission now? There we go. All right, let's see if we actually have everything. We wasted a trip back to Nick's Gateway. Such distance to cover. I suspect the hacking is going to be a bit more involved than that eventually. Got into a debate about press laws today. What the hell? It's basically how the pledge hanger inventory works, is it not? Everything is attributed to your account, but that's more for LTP purposes. Yeah. It's just the item quantity, I guess, in mind. I don't know. I mean, it just feels like an overly complicated solution to the problem. And I don't know necessarily that that would fix the issue, because there still has to be a mechanic for repairing your ship and replacing those components when they go down, and you're constantly creating new tokens with all the different components you buy. Because, I mean, like, even if somebody has, you know, 50 ships, that can very easily turn into several hundred tokens if you're counting all of your missiles, components, weapons, like everything that we get for your ship. For every player, that just sounds needlessly, oh my gosh, the word, complicated, complex, extensive. Specifically, is freedom of the press abused and misunderstood nowadays? Yeah, I'd imagine so. That gets a little bit too close to political discussion for this channel, but yeah, everybody knows that media is a shit show. No surprise there. What if the component just gets recovered and repaired on claim or repair, so the same token would apply? I don't know, maybe. I mean, this is beyond my understanding for how that stuff works. If it's a simple solution that's easy to implement, they probably would have done it already, versus going through what they are with the game. My honest answer is I don't know. I don't know enough to really contribute to the conversation, or to have enough weight to really care to contribute to it, because it's beyond my understanding of how that stuff works. I feel like it'd be kind of better just to track the accounts that are duping and just hard ban them. I mean, like, honestly, accountability, ban hammer that shit. If you're duping, ban them. Then just keep doing it. Just keep kicking them out, making it a really pain in the ass to be in the game doing that. Wipe out all the money involved. Like, go hard, you know? That's what I would do. It's like, if you take away the incentive and you make it more work than it's worth, then people stop. They go do something else. They go break some other game. That's what I would do. I would just come down hard with the letter of the law, so to speak, and make it hurt, make it painful, and then it'll stop, you know? That's one thing that's a tried and true method for us humans. You make it painful to do something, we don't really want to do it anymore. So that's my solution. I would start with a warning, because since it's just a known kind of system, a lot of us have done the repair thing. A lot of us do the infinite smoothie thing. So maybe like varying degrees of you know, retaliation there or rebound. But like send everybody a warning. Be like, hey, with this next update, we're instituting these securities. If you're seen to duplicate your items in any of the following manner, your account will be suspended. And I would make it a hard suspension. I wouldn't make it like some 24-hour shit. I'd make it like a 30-day suspension. And then if it happens again, permaban. That's what I would do. What's up, Commander Jackal? And as long as everybody gets that early message, it's like, hey, we're starting to do this. Don't test us. If you decide to test them, FAFO, baby. You made that choice. So, you know, not sorry. Hell yeah, Wicklow didn't eat my items. Guardian QI acquired. Let's go, dude. You've been talking about that thing forever. Hell yeah. Happy to hear that. Good stuff. And I'm wondering, because, yeah, it's a solo. You got to let me know, like, the range of the dampener, how that thing works. That's really cool. I'll be curious to see how that thing functions in combat. Maybe we'll have to take that out at some point. You don't know how many hours it's taken, but it's been a lot. Yeah, dude, I can imagine. That's why I'm continuously hesitant to get into the Wicklow grind. I have like almost 20,000 MG script, and that might be a little bit of an exaggeration. I think it might be 17 or 18,000 script, and then like a bunch of is it council script too, the other one? But I haven't done anything Wicklow related. I'm thinking about trying to. What the heck was that message? Oh, nothing important. All right. You know, this is one of those moments where if you spend a lot of time traveling between systems with 100 gig jumps in Pyro and such hauling, audiobooks are great. And if you haven't read it, I recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl. Not sponsored. I'm on book 5 now, and it's been an incredible series. And when I'm not streaming, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm either watching YouTube or I'm listening to an audiobook or something while I do this kind of thing. Just traveling, hauling, getting shit done. Feels good to have the Hull B officially. I don't know if what do you guys think of this livery? Anybody run the Hull B with the Horizon livery? What are your thoughts on it? So I don't know if the two-tone colors is really my thing. I might end up getting the dusk livery back, the jet black one. That one was nice. And if they want to buy a new account, do it again. Hardware ban. Hell yeah. Let's go. If you dupe once by accident, fine, especially if you're a new player. But if you are doing it never ending, ban that person until the next update. No, I wouldn't even say to the next update. I would, well, okay, I guess the suspension for like first time serious offense. Yeah, I was gonna say 30 days. To the next update would be like 2 months. Sure. I'm an accountability kind of guy, so the harder the punishment, the better. Yeah, the unknown of whether or not you keep your stuff you grind for is keeping me from doing it as well. Yeah, I know the amount of time that you spend grinding for Wicklow stuff, and I know people have lost things that they've done the Wicklow grind for. That kind of keeps me from wanting to really jump into it as well. It seems the 4.8 default insurance claims will only give you the ship's default loadout, so you will have to use the new system and save a snapshot every time you change stuff if you don't want to risk losing components and weapons. Huh. I'm gonna have to mess more with Evo to see what you mean. Though I do need to make things viable, because like duping the ballistics or PDCs or breaknecks right now, it's only way outside of luck. Yeah, or if people didn't dupe, then you could legitimately salvage it off of other ships, like finding ships out there and taking their guns, which is such a satisfying feeling and makes salvaging, scavenging, whatever, so cool. But because of duping, you know, we can't have nice things. One small victory, you can now snapshot things in the ship's weapons locker. I have to figure out the snapshot thing, because I don't even know what that means. You can buy a ship for the weapons. Granted, I don't think they're so great now with armor. They're not as good as they were, but also if you buy them, you still only get the 2. But what people do is they get the 2, pull them off, repair, pay for 2 more, pull them off, repair, pay for 2 more. They just, like, you know, assembly line, repair, and reproduce and duplicate more and more breaknecks. There we go. Let's boot up Evo. Don't worry about the stream. Yeah. What we could do for the last part of the stream is I could stream Evo. I mean, I won't be able to show it, but I could pop in and mess with stuff. Just might not be quite as fun.
Landing gear down.
All right, here we go. Three weeks to Ironclad. Oh, I know. So excited. All right.
Landing successful.
The next time you stream, it might be Wave 1, possibly.
Shield off.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Shield on. Shield off. Engines on. Engines off.
Okay, anyways. Can we put pressure on the devs to buff mass drivers or nerf the scourge? Yeah. Yeah, mass drivers could use some work. They're not really worth using right now. They don't really pack enough of a punch with their charge mechanic and all. Really need those to be a devastating hit if they do. Yeah, what's up, Dark? Anyone got an idea on how to get Asterite out of my mole? It's low quality, and I tried to sell it on the ore terminal, but I can't. Everything else I can sell. Have you tried just buying new bags, pulling your bags off, and changing the bags out? Why is this so nerve-wracking? Why should you fly a ship into a hangar like that? I don't know. Not used to watching a decoupled pilot, possibly? Many years of experience. Lots of lessons learned the hard way. All right. Let's stuff this in here. I think it would have crashed about 5 times. Ah, you'll get there. You'll get there. We all start out a little clunky, a little nervous. Before you know it, you're doing things that would make other people cringe or nervous. Let's go. Up and over. All right, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, get used to the yellow hangar landings of Deadwake, yep. The more comfortable I am with flying a ship, the more fast and loose with her I get. Random 8 SU box just stuck to the back of that. That's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and stuff that on there with this other small one. We'll send these down. Hopefully these don't end up disappearing like the potassium did. That was so frustrating. By the way, Cap, I got a question. Some of the members have been with us for a few months now, but they still got the rookie tag in Discord. Who's keeping track? Nobody has been, actually. I can revisit that stuff. I never really originally planned for there to be that much tracking and detail on the Discord. I'm a very much a keep it simple, stupid kind of guy. Like, just have people in the Discord playing the games together. But I can revisit that and make some changes and update stuff and give some permissions to people to make it a more smooth experience. I already did that with Obsidian, and I saw a message from Keds. For those who are pretty regularly playing, because I know some of y'all are on there quite a bit, so I want to make it easy and enjoyable for everybody, so I will adjust that as necessary. A lot of the ranking system and ranking stuff is especially like on the Star Citizen side, more of a role-playing aspect than it is like a functional thing. But I'll do what I can to keep it relevant. There we go. All right, well, at least that one completed properly. That's a decent little bit of money. We still didn't get our original payout notification. That would have been nice. Maybe it's under completed contracts. Will it actually show the money made? No, of course not. Let's try this, so we can kind of calculate it. To answer the question, though, originally that was something that Devil Duck had took on his own and was kind of doing on his own. So he kind of, I guess, sort of set a bar of expectation that wasn't really ever planned. Divided by 246. Okay, so we probably got about a 75% payout from the first one. So if we took that into account, we made about 300K off of that one. So altogether, that's about 700K between those two missions. Not too bad, not too bad. I've been taking an SE break, being a combat nerd, combat changing every time I sneeze, tired of the refits. There you go. So what do we think, guys? We want to take a peek at what Evo is got going on. It'll basically require me to, you know, put up a still image or some non-Evo stuff while I mess with it, but if we don't care to do that, we can just continue messing around with this. Hakun, I don't know. You know, sometimes people just want to do other things. They have other plans. I don't know that anything happened, and I'm also not the kind of person that's going to ask questions if you don't come to me. You know what I mean? Like, adults are going to do what adults do, go on their way, do their stuff, so whatever he's doing, I hope he's having a good time, you know, having fun, not feeling stressed out. He's a good guy, great guy, never had any issues. Why is this? Unlike my whole B, which this whole time has been active. Wait, no. Damn. Come on, you. Why, man? What's? Wait, why do we have a virtual button and the physical button now? Did you notice that? We got like the non-gold standard hovering button and then also the in-ship. Hover button's there because you're too short. You got a Friday game plan in motion yet? No, I don't. I don't have any plans in motion. Alright. I don't know what is going on. This is acting up. This is being weird. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know, AT. I haven't really been making plans like that. It's just been too hectic for me to try to organize anything big with people on a day of the week with everything else I got going on. So I'm not going to make any promises. I mean, a lot of my streams are probably going to be staying pretty simple. Just, you know, doing random shit, trying out different things. Wednesdays are going to be the days where we mess with some Winrows, eventually some Forza stuff, but I'm not going to be adding anything to my plate really, or going too above and beyond to, you know, get big groups together. I'm not going to make promises I can't keep. I got too much crap going on. So we'll just go with the flow, see what happens. What's up, Moto? Last I heard something in the private sphere happened and he had to step out, is all I know. Oh. As far as Doc goes, yeah. Alright, let's see what we got. See, this is one thing I was kind of curious about. So this is delivered to Stanton Gateway. We pick up from 3 places. Let's see how long this takes. This is a 535K mission. Is there more than one of these? There is. Alright. We're going to see if this works. Because this is over 1 million credits, man. Let's see how long this takes. 535. There's 3. Destination address. That's not helpful. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Delivered to... Damn. Because that was going to overlap. There are a lot of these 535s, dude. Holy cow. So, yeah, I think I'm senior level with Redwind. Which, these are much better missions than Kovalex. Yeah, I guess I just got into senior recently. Standing neutral, that's new. Huh. Yo, Aaron, thanks for your great vids. Live stream, just picked up a reclaimer. Wondered what QT drive you recommend or use. I would throw an Erebus in that bad boy. You can get the Erebus at Arc L1. If you have a TS2, that is an awesome choice, but the Erebus, E-R-E-B-O-S, is going to be a slamming choice. Really fast, really good acceleration, super efficient. That's what I would do. I hope you have a blast, because the Reclaimer is a fun ship. Yo, Meredith, new hauling missions. So these aren't new, at least not as far as I know. They're just missions I never really tried, because I've always been running the whole sea. And the whole sea can't do these because of where these pickups and drop-offs are. But the payouts are nuts. We did 2 of the 400k missions, which, aside from my ship acting like a haunted vessel, they went really well. You just pick up from 2 spots, drop off. You can typically do 2 of these with something like a Hull B or a Caterpillar, a C2. But now we're messing around with another one, which is these senior missions, which I might be able to do 3. Let's see if we can maybe make this work. So we got, let me get my calculator here. So good missions today that are working. Well, I had some weirdness with one of them where all of the pickup for it was at one station, so the other station I went to was empty. But I still was able to turn it in just fine. And I had one where one of my boxes glitched into the floor of the station, and I lost that, so I only got a partial payout for that mission. But I mean, they're kind of working, sort of. I'm going to do a little math here on the side. So this is 189 SCU. We got Stanton. We're collecting from Checkmate, Megumi, and Orbit. Let's see if there's any chance that there's another drop-off at Stanton Gateway. That would be probably too easy, but would be incredible. So 535 to Checkmate, but it's overlapping with Stanton and Checkmate, so that's probably a good option. Let's go ahead and take that one. And see what our other options are. I noticed that when you grab some of these, they kind of shuffle things around. It's another Checkmate, but that's from other, well, Patch, Orbit, and Rods. Rods, Orbit. So, yeah, that might be the option right there, because we're overlapping. Let's see, are there any others? Man, there's so many of these 500s, dude. Oh my god, the Ironclad is going to kill it. Wait, these are both going to Ruin Station. I should have checked. Oh, that's huge. Wait. Oh my god, these are all... Hold up. All 3 of those are going to Ruin? Are you serious? Let's see if they stay. Yeah, the Ironclad will be totally wrecking these. Pyro was cooked yesterday. Constant server errors. Yeah, well, today they overhauled. They instituted the update, the hotfix update that supposedly corrected a lot of those problems. We haven't had any 30Ks today, which on Friday I was just getting wrecked with them. But I had to update before going into this. I want to see if... Oh, no, did the missions change? You bastards. Wait. Here they are. Ruin, Ruin, Ruin. 177, 168. I want to take the lesser quantities. All right, that's 2 Ruin. I'm going to get a count on these. 198 plus 168, which is 366. We got room for like 1 more. And that's 1.5 million credits. Plus 163, how much would that be? Oh, it might not be. It might be too much. Damn it. Hang on. The 150. Hold on. Let's grab that one. 150 plus 168 plus 198. Oh my god, it's 4 SEU too much. I might be able to stuff it inside the ship though. Hold on, let me abandon these ones. Because we might be able to get one that's less than the 198. That's the highest one. Let's see. There it is, 156. Let's go, dude. Okay, so we just dropped the 198, and now we definitely have enough room. 158, 150, 168. 158, 150, 168, 476. Yeah, it's going to be heavy. It's all potassium and some carbon, but it's all going to Ruin Station. Okay, so we have a couple of areas that just say location address, which is frustrating. We'll have to see, like, what those locations actually are. So these are all around here. Let's see if... Okay, we got some that I know are getting picked up from Stanton, which is what I want to make sure of. So this is a nice way to flip... Whoop, nope, I went too far in. So this is a good way to flip between your missions to see... God damn it, you stupid map. There needs to be like a secondary layer that prevents you from zooming all the way out or something. So dumb. Alright, let's check the last one. Okay, we got rods and nicks. And then we're over here for that part. Okay, so we're going to hit rods and in-game. And then we'll head over to Bloom. Alright, rods, in-game, Bloom. That's what we're going to do first. Rods, in-game, Bloom. Okay. Let's go. Any component recommendations for the Hull B? Honestly, I would probably just run a Hemera Quantum Drive and probably some Civilian A shields. That's a pretty good trusty combo, like the 7SA Loricas or 7CA Loricas. I forget what they are. But what I mostly run in mine, typically I'm running stealth. But you don't really have to do that, because I'll run like a Delta Max, some ice boxes, Spicule Quantum Drive, and some Shrouds, shields, because I like to run low signature, but that's not really super vital. On this build that I have here, I just grabbed what was at my home base, so I've got a JS400 on it, I've got some Lorica shields, I've got the Hemera Quantum Drive, which is the best size 2 quantum drive you're going to get outside of the XL1 military drive. And then I ended up putting some ballistic cannons on it just to not take up extra power. There we go. Let's go ahead and raise up and collapse. Here we go. Time for you to hydrate. Yeah, man, I got it. Right here, buddy. Little temptation for you. I took a couple of shots of tequila before I started the stream. Does that count? And then I had the Caribe. Started getting caution signs. What am I right next to? What are you freaking out about? Oh, that little light. That would probably kill you if you hit it.
Landing gear up.
Alright. Let's set course to rods. It's going to be rods, in-game Bloom. I think that's our current sequence here. This is for 1.5 million credits. And we should be able to do this in a way that'll keep it pretty well lined up. Are we doing that stupid travel crap again? Damn it, man. Alright, so we should just be able to point a direction and start moving. Alright. Let's see if it lets us navigate now. There we go. Oh, we were actually pointing at it. Huh. That works. Monster today. Yes, son of a bitch. Yes, sir. Alright. I'll go ahead and start a timer. Let's see. Yeah, that bug is super frustrating, dude. It's like, just work, damn it. Alright. Now I'll go grab a little shot or a small pour of tequila. I can do that while we're cruising. I will be right back, guys. I'm gonna make a head call as well. Thank you for your patience. Went ahead, took a double shot with the wife. Feeling hydrated, good to go. Wait, what about a timer? Did they add a timer to the Misc ships in game? Did they? Where's the timer? Huh? That'd be really cool. I know, see timer. I probably broke it when they put it in the coffee vendor at 18 or something. I know there's a clock in my 325, which is kind of cool. I know that people were kind of talking about the clock they put in the Wolf for a bit. That kind of sits down next to the stick in the cockpit. It'd be kind of cool to have an in-game timer. Instead, I'm just running my my good old phone stopwatch. Keep it simple. Tell you what, man, Monster and tequila goes together really well. Really well. All right. I'm really curious how long it'll take to complete this. Because we got 3 missions to pick up, and they will all fit on this ship, which is really cool. And we'll keep track of, well, actually, this is already one we can't use the whole C for, because Rods isn't a external elevator station. Am I in? Oh, that's why. I was in free look mode. It's like, why can't I move? I am running the Chimera right now, yep. I knew with the kind of traveling we were going to be doing, we're going to need that extra speed and efficiency. So we are rocking the Chimera Quantum Drive. Gonna go ahead and pop out. And there's our zone. Go VTOL. Come on, big girl. It's a good decel. She's flying a lot better than she was earlier in the stream, that's for sure. Right there should be perfect.
Landing successful. Engines off.
All right. Have to ask, you said a few streams back that you live in the heart of Florida. Yeah, I'm actually pretty centralized. I'm in Haines City, kind of in between Orlando and Tampa. Pretty much smack dab in the middle of Florida. We'll have to watch a video or two on this QI. I have no clue what I'm doing. Nice. Sounds like that'll be a fun thing to figure out. Alright, let's see what we're dealing with as far as the actual cargo. Hopefully it's just a couple of 32s, makes it really easy to pull up. And we'll see if it's something we can actually pull up in the medium elevator in one go of it. We should be able to. Originally, well, I mean, I was born in Central Florida. We moved around a lot, so I don't really have a particular part of Florida that really identifies as a central point. Okay, so... Alright, this is one of those missions where all of the cargo is going to be in one place. It's not here. Lovely, so that's a wasted trip. Or Lampa, love it. Yes, Revenger, that's pretty good. I'm a Hornet class of a long time ago. Yeah, I was a Spartan, a Lion, all kinds of stuff. School mascots. I probably went to like 7 or 8 different schools growing up. Bunch of different elementary schools, bunch of different middle schools, bunch of different high schools. Here we go. Alright, so I know now from experience that even though the mission didn't show anything here, that the mission's probably not broken, it's just all at one of the stops. Which is annoying, but no biggie. Go ahead and just collapse our ship down. We will continue on, I think, to Endgame was the next main station to hit on this way. Let's see. Yep, we got Endgame. Megumi. Oh, son of a bitch. There is something at Megumi. Are you serious? We were at Megumi, weren't we? It's so fucking annoying. I don't remember seeing an actual icon over at Megumi. Did it change where it is? Because now there's nothing showing up for rods. I'm not crazy, right, guys? What the hell? Okay. It's a great thing is that this is streamed and recorded, so I can go back and see if I just jacked up or what, man. Grew up in Davenport. Nice. Yeah, I'm real close to Davenport. Kept happening. Sister lives in St. Pete. Oh, there you go. You don't lose rep from missions still? No, no, yeah. The rep loss from missions is long gone, thankfully. Okay. Well, we'll hit in-game first since it's pretty close, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. I don't think it shows up when you're at the station. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Time to take another shot of 3. No, honest, I gotta start making more money if I'm gonna be drinking more. All right, that tequila ain't cheap. Okay, well, let's see. For this one, it's Endgame, Obituary, and Nyx Gateway. For this other one, it's Megumi, Rat's Nest, and Dudley. And then the last one... What the hell? Okay, so you're right. It doesn't show up while you're there. So this one is... I'll be so mad if it's actually not at Megumi or Rod's, and it's actually over at, like, Nyx Gateway. Okay, so that mission has those 3. Oh, it's so weird, dude. Alright, so we're just going to track this one first. We're going to see if there's anything over here at endgame. We might just continue our pathway over to Nyx to see if maybe all of the cargo for that mission's there. Since it didn't show up at Rod's, it makes me think that one of the locations has everything. Which is probably Megumi, if we're being honest. It was messing me up last night. Yeah, hey, we're learning. You're totally right. I'll let you play. Just had to ask. Oh, man, I ask all the questions. I love it. I like interacting with the audience. Is the fun part of doing this thing. I'm happy for the questions. Picking up a lot of bananas, yeah. Whole lot of potassium, man. Gotta hope I don't bump into a ship carrying a lot of water. That could be a bad day. Yeah, these missions having the issue of it being a triple pickup, but only one of the pickups having everything is a real pain in the ass. If there was a way to know which station it was, it might be the first station in each category, which would mean it's all at Megumi for that one. So, like, what would it be for this one? We'll see if we can try to figure that out. So on this mission, it just says location, endgame, and obituary. So location would be the third one, right? Where is the third one? Nyx. So Nyx might have everything based on that logic if it's the first one on the list. So it might be Nyx. Wait, no, that was another mission. Okay, so this one, it might be Nyx here. It probably is Megumi for that one. And maybe Nyx on this one. Oh, man, I don't know. There's so many overlapping. We'll figure it out. High-level chemistry jokes. Gotta love it. Yep. I'm a total science geek, so there'll be a lot of really dumb, nerdy jokes coming from me. Alright. Hopefully this station at least has some of what we need. Let's go ahead and get expanded, drop our gear. It's gonna be one of these stations in the back here as we go through this really dense cloud. There we go. All right. See what happens. Mission changes kept happening from the old Alliance Aid event where the pickup location will change after you accept the hauling contract. Was annoying. Yeah, for a good while there, Tribunal, it was a problem across the board. There was a real bad issue where the second you picked a mission, it would just swap your pickup and drop off. Really sucked. That, for the most part, is not really an issue anymore. Now, it just seems to be that there's a chance that your pickup is all going to be in one location if you have several places you're supposed to pick up from. And that's just a headache, especially in a larger system like this. I don't think there's anything here. I think endgame's also empty. I think everything is going to be at like 1 or 2 stations. But I kind of want to... So let's keep that in mind. So endgame is not the top of the list for any of these. Which ones are the top of the list? That's what I'm going to say is the deal. And we're going to see if that's the case. It might be a consistent workaround. We should do some we'll do some testing here. We're going to figure out if this is a thing. So my guess is that the first location will have all of it, which means Megumi and Nyx should be the only 2 places you have to go to get everything. If that's how it's going to be. Nyx is the next place on the list anyway. So let's see if Nyx just has a buttload of crap, way more than it should. Where did you level up? Redwind Rep right here in Pyro. That is the only place where you really can. It's a pain in the ass grind too, especially getting through member rank, because a lot of the missions would end up swallowing your cargo and not counting. It's Redwind has been the biggest pain in the ass to level up. It is so much money though, man. It's crazy good in that sense. And when the whole sea missions were working, we were able to start doing some mission chaining with other players, because unlike Kovalek, you can actually share down with Redwind. So you could like run whole sea missions and level up your party that are trying to get Redwind rep, which is really cool. Of course, right now it's not very reliable because the whole sea is not working consistently with the weird stacking issues that autoload has. Here we go. Finally get to my space trucker hat back on and be a mother trucker. Let's go, dude. Hell yeah. Sounds good. All right. Yeah, God, those prox warnings make me so nervous. So I don't know that this is actually going to be the case, but I'm guessing that it might just be that if you go to the first station on the list in your mission description, just maybe, it's a workaround. Which is also really annoying, because had I just checked Megumi Station, it would have had a full load there. But because of the issue of it not showing on your map when you're at a location, I won't make that mistake again. I'll be double checking now. Damn. Stopwatch doesn't seem to work. Ah, that's too bad. Man. I really hope this works, because damn, dude, this is like 1.6 million credits in 3 missions that you can do at the same time on the whole B. That's huge. Which means you can also fit all of these really easily on your caterpillars, and you could probably do a 4th mission if you're using your C2. So that could be 2 million in missions that you could carry all at once. Especially because like the last 4 all go to Ruin Station. That's huge, because like the other missions were, you know, to Checkmate or Megumi or whatever, but the last like 4 of the 535k missions all go to Ruin Station. So you're gonna do a little running around to figure out where the hell all this stuff is stashed, but then you take it all to drop off to the same place. Then it's just a matter of whether or not Ruin Station actually recognizes all 4 missions, or if you send down the first one and don't get credit for the other 2 or 3. Oh, that would suck. Stacking missions in the C2 kind of sucks. Yeah, it does. Dealing with how you stack stuff can be a real pain. That's one of the reasons this ship is so good, because it competes with the Caterpillar and the C2 in its quantity, you know, pretty close. Like, sure, the C2 can carry quite a bit more, but the ease of loading and offloading on this ship really makes up for that in a pretty big way. I'm glad that I permanently added it to my fleet. She's officially my ship. I don't think I'm sticking with this paint, though. I think this is the first time and last time that I'll be running the Horizon livery. It's just not quite my style. It's not horrible, but it's kind of like, I don't know, like a champagne-colored Pontiac or Cadillac with like beige seats. It's just not my vibe. It's not how I would fly. You can stack missions elsewhere too, but they may not pay as much as Redwind. Yeah, totally. Yeah. God, the payout at Kovalex is horrible, man. I really hope that all of the hauling companies get a nice overhaul. So, like, I think probably even better than Redwind, and it's still only in rookie level right now, which is why I say, you know, eventually maybe, Dead Saints. Dead Saints payout at rookie level is insane. I mean, frankly, Dead Saints, Ling Family, and Redwind Interstellar, all the Interstellar missions at rookie level pay really well, except for Kovalex. So I think that eventually those are all going to pay fantastic once we start getting junior member experience, like the higher ranks for those missions. You should totally get a pink dude, if they had a pink livery for this ship, I'd have had it yesterday. You know, I've got the Star Citizen livery on my Saber. I had the Carnival livery on my Vulture, which was the badass pink and black. I love a good pink and black combo. I will run that in a heartbeat. And the Star Kitten livery on my, the racing livery on my Saber is like pink, white, with like sponsor stickers and shit. I would totally run the hell out of that. That'd be awesome. My favorite color combo to run would be like a really nice purple. Kind of like the F8 Best in Show livery. Except instead of purple and white though, I would do purple and black. Or even like the Love Struck paints. Those are really nice. Nah, but my favorite livery to run on this thing currently that's in game is the Dusk livery. It's a really nice dark matte black. That's what I prefer over the other two. The First Light's pretty cool. It kind of, to me, fits the sort of Bumblebee aesthetic. But I melted that. I probably won't buy that back. I'm probably going to melt this and swap it out for the Dusk. I'm seriously thinking about buying the game. What starter ship should I buy without breaking the bank? Honestly, man, Speedy's, I would, if it's an option, actually, let's look at this. We got 15 gigs. Let's take a peek. Let's see. Is there a way to isolate starter packages? Let's look at this real quick. Because I'm really glad you asked. And, like, I know the ships that I think of as starter ships. Is there a way to isolate it? If we go to shop. It's a category in the store. Is it? Okay. Pledge store. Standalone ships, upgrades, paints, packs. Is it packs? Starter packs? No. All right, come on. Is there an easy way to get to this? Or just under ships? Gear, subscriber. Your store looks... Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, the store is, like, changed. Hang on. Pledge store. They, like, changed the website. Game packages. Star Citizen starter packs. There we go. There it is. Okay, so looking at these. Jesus. What the hell, dude? Well, honestly, so this has changed a bit. What's up, True Camo? Thanks for the comment over on Twitch. I would probably go with the Duelist and below with how this is set up for your starter packs. They really scanned it up. Yeah, there's not as many options as there used to be. So, okay. The best overall ship to be able to do a bunch of different stuff is gonna be the Duelist pack with the Avenger. It won't lock you into a certain amount of gameplay. That, or honestly, the Cutter. The Cutter is not bad. Your Generalist starter, so that's the Drake Cutter. So your Avenger is going to be a bit more well-rounded for combat. You're going to have a size 4 and 2 size 3s. You have internal storage space on the ship, and interior cargo space. You can do some low-level hauling, some courier missions. That's not bad. Jumping up to the Spirit. Is that the Spirit, guys, or the Intrepid? I think that might be the Intrepid. This might be the... I know it's $80, which is kind of like a premium video game starting pack. The Intrepid's probably a really solid option. I don't know. Where the hell is the damn info on the Intrepid, though? 8 SCU. It's only 8 SCU? No, I'd still go with the Avenger. I'd still go with the Avenger, honestly, over this. Yeah, so the other starters are going to kind of lock you into a game loop, like the Salvage ship. So these are all good options. The Salvation, the Golem, these are good options, but they kind of lock you into a way of playing the game and kind of take away a little bit of your autonomy. If you really like mining in games, the Golem is a slamming starter. Getting into the Mark II, though, this might be your best bet. If this is the Mark II Aurora, this is probably going to be your best all-around pick because you can also get modules with this thing to carry extra cargo. You can do combat, you can do courier missions, you can do some low-level hauling. For $45, this is going to be your best value, hands down. And I've flown this ship. This ship's actually a lot of fun. I love this thing. And this, of course, starter pack is going to come with some extra stuff, like these LH86 handguns, which are fantastic. 7 gear items. You get the RSI MechFlex backpack, Gemini LH86. It's a good handgun, starting 10,000 AUEC. And if you use my referral code, blah, 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 whatever in my description, you get an extra like 50,000 AUEC. Haha, wink, wink. No, but this it comes with the shimmer scale paint too, which is pretty cool. This would probably be the one I went for though, price considered. It's got good combat power. You know, you can carry cargo on board. You can do a bunch of different things versus being locked into a single gameplay loop. Honestly, that's what I would jump into. Modules are only $10 each. Oh yeah, that's sweet. So you could get the extra cargo module. I would not get the combat module. Don't worry about that. What is the cargo one, guys? The TS, right? Let's see what it's like to actually buy this. So let's go here and see if it actually shows you that you can like go ahead and add. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So don't need the paint. I would just get this. I would just go boom right there. $55. You get the cargo module that adds some extra cargo space. With your starter pack, you really don't need the extra shield, but the combat module, I don't think it's worth it. $55 to start the game. That's what I would pick. This is what I would go for if I was starting right now. And then once you're in game, you can buy all the other stuff. You can rent ships. I mean, this is a great way to get started. And then you can quickly jump into renting a bunch of cool ships and really kick off your experience in game. That would be my advice. I hope that helps a little bit. Because like all the other ships you see on that starter screen, you can just get in game and mess with later. But at least you won't be like locked into a certain style of gameplay. Like mining or salvage. Like if you were going in knowing that's what you wanted to do, that'd be a little different. But I flew the shit out of that Aurora Mark II in combat and like looting bunkers and all kinds of gameplay, and it was a total blast. That ship is a lot of fun. The Avenger's a solid choice as well. It's just I think like another $30 more, which you don't really need to worry about. Alan, thank you for the question. I'm really glad you're able to say that. It also gave me the chance to actually look at what the current starter packages look like, because I was going to say the Nomad, which is an awesome all-around ship, but it's not attached to a starter package in the game anymore, which really sucks, honestly. No, but the Aurora Mark II is a solid choice. Alright, let's get into one of these hangars. And contrary to what some might tell you outside of the Star Citizen community, you don't have to dump loads of money in this game. You could drop that $45 game package, grind in game, learn the ropes, and buy all kinds of ships with in-game money. You don't have to sign your soul away to Chris Roberts. Those of us who do, you know, we choose to. We know what we're doing, what we're getting into. Avenger's expensive nowadays. What, the in-game price? I hope that pack holds till Christmas. That's what I plan on getting my kids into the game, at least 2 of them. Nice, yeah. That's a pretty solid package, yeah. Getting that full armor set, the LH86, the Aurora Mark II. I'm glad that we clicked in and looked at it, because I was going to suggest the Avenger until I realized what that was. There we go. Yeah, a lot of new folks don't realize what you can do with renting ships in this game, because you can easily, in your first, you know, hour or 2 of the game, get enough money to rent much bigger ships to make a buttload of money fast. Because you can rent the rafts, the Tauruses, you can even rent, I think, the whole A, maybe even the Golem, the Prospector, the Mole. You can rent all kinds of stuff, which is really cool. At least my elevator's working again. Hull B looks sick, dude. Yeah, this is a good ship. This is a solid hauler. If you end up knowing that you're gonna just really get into hauling, this is a ship to keep your eyes on. It will become available to purchase in game, probably for 8 to 10 mil when it does hit in-game stores. Wow, does this not have anything here either? Where is all my cargo? What the fuck? Okay, so that kills my theory. We're gonna have to figure out which station is hoarding all of our crap. This is funny. Which station has our shit? Yeah, I didn't even know renting was a thing before yesterday. Yeah, renting is a really underutilized, and mostly just because it's not as well known. It was years before I realized renting was a viable option myself. Check mission description. Oh, I've already looked at that a few times. Wait, what if... No, it's delivered to Ruin. You actually almost had me wondering if, like, we're picking everything up from Ruin and then taking it to all these places. But no, that's... Huh. Hull B is my favorite ship ever. Makes me smile every time. Hell yeah. The 8-ball in-game credits took me 3 months to grind for a good ship. There you go. Alright, let's to Edric's point, let's take a look at our descriptions real quick. So we're picking up from the freight elevators at these locations. Okay, any order. So we'll have to go to Orbit to see what's up with that one. We'll head back to Megumi for the others. I bet Megumi has those two. Man, this is like a wild goose chase to figure out where the hell our cargo is. Well, it says location, but when you look at your map, it shows Nix Gateway. That's why I was looking at the actual map. Like the one we're looking at right now, it says location and then an endgame in orbit. But if you go to the map, which it won't show it now because we're actually at Nix Gateway, because that's another bug that I don't like. You can see the two icons here and here for orbit and then the delivery. Once we leave, Nix Gateway will light up. So let's head to orbit, which will kind of put us halfway to Megumi anyway. We're 32 minutes in, and we haven't even found one parcel of cargo, dude. CIG's version of hide and seek. Facts. So my original hypothesis that the first place on the list would have the cargo, nope. Cross that out. That's not a thing. Let's see. Let's head over to Bloom. If we still get this all turned by about the hour mark for like 1.5 million, that'll still be pretty good. We'll see how this shakes out. We're gonna run the gauntlet here, guys. We're traversing all of Pyro to try to find our cargo. It's like a treasure hunt mixed with a hauling mission. Speaking of renting ships, my guy was like doing this weird twitching thing in his face, so decided he needed a vacation, so I rented the 600i. I found this one place on Herson. As soon as I landed, the ship blew up. I was stuck on... Oh no. Oh, that sounds horrible, Steve. Damn. When you think you're gonna have a good time and the game says nope. That's crazy. All right, yeah, we'll see if maybe Orbit has our stuff. This is a great testament, though, to how fast you can get around Pyro with the Hemera Quantum Drive. If you don't know where that's at, Krell1, I think Cousin Crows as well. Also, Speedy and anybody who's new, if you haven't seen this website, if you go to DPS Calculator or erkul.games, this is a fantastic site to take a peek at what ships might cost in-game, depending on what you're looking at. Kind of like if we go to, let's just say that Crusader Intrepid, one of that other starter ship. If you scroll down here and look at Stanton Shops, you can pick it up for, wow, really freaking cheap. Holy shit. The Intrepid's only 700k at Area 18. That's wild. But this is also a site where, like, let's say we're running your new RSI Aurora Mark II. You'll be able to actually look at everything. Your power plant, see what power plants are available, weapons loadouts, where you can buy these components. If you just click and make it blue here, it pops up over here. You can see where they sell them. This is definitely a site to play around with and get familiar with and ask questions on. Really good stuff for finding all kinds of crap, including like the quantum drive I just talked about, which if you went over to Misc Hull B or any size 2 quantum drive, you pop down here, it comes with a Sparkfire. I've got the Hemera, which is right here, which is not the fastest. It's the second fastest, but it's, well, third technically, but it's actually, with its acceleration stages, it's actually faster than the Huracan. Between the acceleration stages and the cooldowns, because you have stage 1 and 2 accelerations that have their own speeds on top of the top speed, There's a lot that goes into this. But when you click on it and you see where it's at, you got Cousin Crow's Platinum Bay at Cruel 1 and Platinum Bay at Cruel 5. All kinds of great choices. Let me go ahead and update the website. Is Erkul all the time? Now that is a really good tool. Yeah, Erkul is incredible. It's probably my most used third-party tool. There is, I think, SP Viewer or something similar that does basically the same thing with a slightly different layout. Some folks prefer that. I haven't really used that one much. I'm a creature of habit, so when I find a site that I like and that I know well, I tend to stick to it. This is the one that I've been using pretty much since I started the game. It's a fantastic source of information. Yeah, Citizen Cal, SP Viewer is my preference. Yeah. Yeah, I know my buddy Captain Cusey uses that as well. It's probably fantastic. I just haven't used it myself. And again, I'm kind of a lazy creature of habit in that sense. Once I find something, I typically tend to stick to it unless I really have a reason to check out something different. I get stuck in my ways, so to speak. All right, let's zip on over here and hope that we actually have our stuff. My gosh. I might just pop out of the external freight elevator over here and see what's up. Hemera is the second most efficient. Yeah, exactly. Behind the XL1. Except you can at least buy the Hemera. Yeah, everybody recommended Erkul to me. That's why I'm using it. It's awesome because when you find components, you can go to Erkul and find out how good they are. Yep. Yeah, you can see whether or not it's A, B, C, or whatever. If it's something you want to keep or maybe try to sell to another player. All right, let's see. Where is our external? Is that it right there in front of us? Yes, I think so. Let's go ahead and pop our spindles out while we slow down. Okay. Should be pretty good right about there. We'll come forward more. All right. Gotta do it. Thank you all for the amazing tips. Do you have any specific days when you stream so I know when to hop on? So yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wednesdays are other games. We're gonna be playing Windrose and then in the future like Forza and stuff. But Monday and Friday with Star Citizen from noon to 1600 Eastern time every day. You can see my schedule on Twitch or check up on YouTube. Either way, man. Always happy to have people asking all the questions. That's what I love to do the most, is helping people out. It's great to have you. All right, here we go. Oh, man, please, oh, please, oh, please. Oh, we got stuff, guys. That's definitely not everything. That is one of the senior hauling contracts, but it is something. Hey, at least we got some cargo. My gosh. Thanks, man. Have a good rest of your day. Same to you, my friend. Take care. System component finder is a good one as well. Has more locations for each component than Erkul does. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, anytime you guys have other recommendations and stuff, feel free to put the links in the chat. I love when we get new players in the chat asking questions and finding stuff out. That is a good feeling. Hopefully doing this EVA makes it a little bit more manageable. This might be 2 missions worth. I feel like it would have said so if it, like, you know, has, because usually they're like broken out in different mission quantities, right? Or mission categories. This, I think, is just 1 mission worth, which is a little bit of a letdown, honestly. Wait, I think Orbit only had 1. I don't know. We'll see. Hang on. Let's move this back this way. Put this here. Okay, pop that there. All right. Did I leave my docking port open? Man, I like never do that. Oh, no, we're good. It's closed. They wouldn't be able to get through that door. I mean, yeah, it'd be better to close the outer door, but yeah, as long as that inner door is closed. And this one, man, I even shot it with, like, ship guns, and this door wouldn't open. I don't know if that's a bug they have to patch out or what, but nah, we're okay. What's up, Kodiak? Often the game despawns my ship, put it back in the hangar when doing external cargo elevator like that. Yeah, so you want to be really careful about where you're parking. Sometimes it just does it because the game can be an asshole sometimes, and that's frustrating, especially if you're out for a really long period of time. But as long, so like what I tell most people is think of these external freight elevators like a wheel of cheese with a bunch of holes. It's kind of a dumb thing to say, but it makes sense if you consider what I'm talking about. If the cargo area is basically a massive roll of cheese, you want to make sure you're in one of the holes. And the hole is literally right in front of this area, right in front of the elevator. If you put your ship like right in front of this, you're good. If you come up too high out of it, you'll eventually hit an impound zone. And if you kind of exit the hole of cheese, kind of going in between the elevators, you'll also hit an impound zone, and they will take your ship. So it comes with some risk for sure. The more you do it, the more you kind of figure out the sweet spots, the less you find your ship getting taken away from you. But again, sometimes it still happens. It happens to me when it's not supposed to. The game just decides it's going to be an asshole and yoinks your ship from you. You're just like, damn it, man, why? I did everything right. It's especially bad when it's the whole sea, because then it ends up in your hangar, and when you go to call it, it's extended and glitched, and you're really screwed. Big problems. Alright, let's go back to Megumi, where we started, to see if we got some cargo there, because that's probably where it is. Looked like you didn't close it. Was going to call you a noob, and that'd be fair. Yeah, if I make that kind of mistake, I'd be deserving of that. I'm always telling people to be careful, close their shit, all this stuff, so yeah, call me out, man. If I make those big noob mistakes, I will drink for it. Which, really, is that a punishment? That sounds more like a reward, honestly. My brain just went to a very dirty spot. Let's see, just getting caught up. All right, there we go, we're good. Oh, yo, thank you, True Camo, for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a good time with us today. I know I was going to mess around with some Evo stuff, but it's kind of fun to test out these really high-paying missions. We finally found some cargo, and actually, let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 32s and a 24. So what are we dealing with here? Yeah, it's 152. Oh, plus a 4. That's 156. All right, so that is one of the missions. That's a full mission's worth for one of them. Okay. Is that a new mission from 472? I don't think so. I think that these missions have been around here for a while. They're the Red Wind senior level hauling missions. I've just never had an occasion where I've looked at them because I've always just done the 266k missions at the whole sea at the experience level. It's kind of a blessing in disguise that the whole sea is not really working right now, because it's actually causing me to check out these other missions that pay out really well. On the last stream, we were interrupted by 30ks, but we were checking out these 400k missions, which it was nice that you would technically only pick up from 2 spots to drop off at 1. And you could do probably 2 of these at least at a time, about 800k worth in like a Hermes, a Caterpillar, a Hull B, C2. But then there's also these 535k missions, where technically you're supposed to pick up from 3 places and drop off at 1, but it's even less SCU. So we've got 3 missions now that altogether would fit on the Hull B, but the problem with these is even though it shows 3 pickups, we're noticing a habit, which is really annoying, that one of these pickups will have all of the cargo. And we've gone to like 3 different locations already that haven't had any. So we're like trying to find the missions that, or trying to find the spots that have all of it. And we did for this one. Okay, so we don't have to go to Endgame or Nyx, which, shocker, they're not there anyway. It was all at Obituary. All of the cargo for the mission was at Obituary. I bet all of the cargo for one of these will be at Megumi. It would be hilarious if everything was at Megumi, because we would have had 2 of the missions fully loaded already, because that's where we started. Really annoying. We haven't been to Rat's Nest or Dudley's yet. We have been to Rod's and there was nothing there, and we've been to Nick's and there was nothing there. So we know by process of elimination that at least one of these missions will be at Megumi. If this other one is too, that would be convenient, but also really shitty. It's 1.6 million if you did all this together. Yeah, 535 times 3. Yeah, 1.605. That's crazy. Hotfix went live not so long ago. What's up, Jim? Yeah, I'm on the hotfix now. I updated right before we went live 3 hours ago. Which, wow, it's already been 3 hours. Holy cow. I love my whole B. Don't use my Hermes anymore since then. Really? Yeah, I honestly, you know, when the whole B first came out, probably one of the most common questions I got was whole B or Hermes. And I found it really hard at the time to melt the Hermes because it can do so much more. But if I'm being honest, everything that I previously used the Hermes for, I can just do on my mole now, because I used the Hermes to put the Geo and the Rock on to go and mine stuff. But now that the mole has its elevator, makes it kind of hard for me to justify, right, guys? Like, the Hermes is a really cool ship. It does, compared to the whole B, it's a massive pain to load. The whole B is just so much easier to load. And since I basically do everything else that I would do with the Hermes, with the mole, I really can't argue with logic that I would keep the Hermes over the whole B. My Hermes might be on a limited time span. I haven't melted it. I didn't have to melt the Hermes to get this. I had enough freaking paints and store credit, which is bad enough on its own, to be able to get the whole B. But the Hermes is kind of a garage queen right now, guys. Honestly. Yeah. Because that was kind of my only reason for keeping my Hermes. Was because I would use it to load up the Geo or the Rock and go out and go mining with it. But without that, I really can't say much to try to tell people, like, no, you shouldn't get rid of it. The whole B is not worth getting rid of the Hermes. It really depends. Yeah, the Hermes is a heavy girl. She's fast, too, though, and it has better weapons and all. Like, there are arguments to be had as a daily driver. It's just, again, like, I don't know. I have other dailies. Like, I would almost rather use my 325 as my daily for, like, doing bunker stuff and all that. Like, I don't know. I gotta kind of dig in a little bit internally to figure out almost like a personal philosophical level. Like, what ships would I keep? I think it's very contextual, like what you're doing, what ships you have, the kind of style you like to play as. And the whole B is a fantastic ship. And if you primarily were using your Hermes as a hauler to kind of replace maybe your Caterpillar or something, then I think in that case, yeah, the whole B takes it. I'm a big Drake guy and an always forever fan of the Cat, but I would not lie to you that the whole B is just an easier ship to use. I think I still... Would you guys like to see that, a comparison video from me between the whole B and the Caterpillar? Because I want to do that. I feel like they're probably the best competitive ships with one another. I just saw, like, ship engines go by, and I'm, like, nervous now. Shiv is best daily. Shiv's an awesome ship, dude. I wouldn't argue that at all, or against that at all. Just melted the whole E to get the B. Oh, damn. Yeah, I have no personal desire to go for the E just because of how far out it appears to be. Like, I can't really wrap my head around making that kind of financial decision. I'm a big Asgard guy myself for a lot of those use cases you mentioned. Yeah, yep, the Asgard is one of those dailies that stands out. Now, what I can say, Camo, for me, loving being in Pyro and Nyx so much is the Asgard struggles in its fuel tank. That's a huge thing for me, is the fuel capacity. That's where a ship like the Hermes kicks the Asgard's butt, because it has that, like, almost 5 SU of fuel. What's up? Oh man, is that Hazard? What's up, buddy? Wait, no, that's a regular Guardian. That's not a normal... Or is that the QI? Is that Hazard rocking the QI? Because it probably has the 2 size 5 guns instead of the 4 size 4s. Thing looks fancy, dude. Hull B has spoiled me. I hate loading any ship that has internal cargo now. Yep. Lost up and down. Oh, it's all relative, my bro. That thing looks clean, though. Is that the base paint for it? That is nice. I'll be curious to see your thoughts on the QI versus the MX. I had the whole E to get the C as a loaner when I was just like, heck, I can buy the whole C in game. That's a fair point. That's understandable. Yeah, let me take a little peek at this thing. Just a little external view of it. This is the Wicklow QI, which is probably why it looks so fancy then, I would guess. Looks like we got the, those look like M7A cannons. Is that right? It's nice. It's got that like Wicklow sheen to it. Can't move. Or no, oh shit, are you having the movement problem I was having earlier? So it's got the like hex pattern paint, which is pretty common on these Wicklow ships. Yeah, those M series cannons, I'd probably swap those out for some Omnis for sure if you're running a cannon build on this thing. Are those size 3 missiles? Those look like size 3s. Chaoses are blue. What are those, arresters? Oh shit, I see you standing outside of your seat. I hope you're not like stuck. That would suck. If you need any help kind of janking your cockpit to get you out of there, let me know. I know we've done that before. Send these up. On my screen, I'm at the oh, really? Yeah, I see your little dude like in the glass, which you can probably see through the stream. Ow. Well, I just headbutted your cockpit there. My bad. Yeah, I just see you kind of standing here at the front. Oh boy. I would hold off on the comparison video between the bee and the cat until the command module in case that makes a big difference. Acheron, that is a good point. So hold off on the Caterpillar comparison until we see the changes with the 4.8 build. I think that is a valid point because talking about the Caterpillar's command module is going to be important when that comes out. Did a cargo recovery mission with my Hull B. The broke ship was a cat. So obnoxious getting cargo out of the end of it, getting stuck under the catwalk. Oh yeah. Dude, that's actually really cool. Yeah, the recover cargo missions would be a lot of fun in this thing. You know what? If we have, we might not, I don't want to commit to that today. We might not have time because time is moving. We're having too much fun. We might do those new recover cargo missions out of Nix and stuff that came out. I might have to test those out. I think I am going to recopy my account in the PTU as well so I can buy a Starfarer and get my Hull B in my PTU account. And then I'm going to recopy it again when the Ironclad comes out. So that'll be fun. But yeah, this sort of loading on the Hull B, man, is so user-friendly. I don't recommend that everybody does this sort of loading. I'm very lucky that the ship next to me is a friend of mine. Friend of mine? Loading external freight elevators and Pyro come with obvious risk, as you can imagine. I feel like a commercial online that's got like a... what is it? A list of side effects. Don't take this if you have this, or this condition. Sorry, what guns did you recommend for ballistic size? Oh, for ballistic size 5, I probably would honestly go deadbolts. What do you think, Cal? But size 5 ballistics, either deadbolts or run like the 85 Bs. I don't know. Cannons, I'd run the Omnis. The Omni 12s, I think is what they are. For like laser. Ballistics though, I don't know. Size 5 ballistics, I probably just run 2 deadbolt 5s. The alpha damage on those. It's power hungry ship, so ballistic seems like the way to go. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I might have to do some testing with either the 85 Bs or the deadbolt 5s. Similar projectile velocity, obviously, but the deadbolts will actually have that penetration and real damage that you would want to get through larger ships. I guess it also depends on what you think you might be facing for the day. I probably would keep somewhere easily accessible both types of guns for if you think you might be facing smaller targets or larger targets. I don't think there are any good size 5 fast firing ballistics like the Revenants or the Breaknecks would be. That's tough. Still don't really see the purpose of the command module. Yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to be looking forward to reviewing, because to me it kind of is like the trucker 18-wheeler kind of cab and trailer combo thing. We'll have to experiment with different ways that the command module might be useful. You'll be able to trust an honest review from me. If it makes sense or it's cool, I'll say so. If it seems stupid, I'll say so. Okay, so we've got a good chunk of our stuff. We're not full, so we're definitely missing one of the missions worth of cargo. We got 2 missions worth for sure. Where do we think this last one might be? Or actually, by process of elimination, have we been everywhere already? Because we got Rat's Nest and Dudley. Is that what's left? So this one we got everything. Yeah, Rat's Nest and Dudley. Shoot. All right, we got a 50-50 chance here, guys. It's probably going to be at one of these locations. What do we think? Rat's Nest or Dudley? Which one do you think will have all the cargo? I think Dudley. If I'm wrong, I'll take a shot for it. What do you guys think? Because so far on these missions, it's been one spot that's had everything. We thinking Rats? Rats is closer. We'll go ahead and hit that first. Oh, well, if it lets me. Rods and game stand and gateway, so it should be... Oh, wait, it should actually have the icon over it. I'm stupid. Crap, which one's closer? Shit. Okay, it should be this one. Dudley, and I'll take one with you. Sounds good. Alright, yeah, I'm saying Dudley. Watch it actually be the one of 3 missions that's properly split between 2 locations. Wait, no, it should be split between 3. So yeah, it probably won't be. Command module also doubles as essentially an escape pod. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm thinking about testing with it is the escape pod. I'll let you know my thoughts once I've used it for a bit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, still stuck glitched in EVA. Oh, shit. Oh, man, I feel bad for leaving you behind. Is this something you think I could have helped with? I'll turn around if you think so. I need to have a talk with CIG about making NNs and NDBs in size 4s and 5s. They do, bro. Same with the XJs, the distortion repeaters. I really, really wish there was like a universal size up for each of the weapons. And then just apply the necessary like speed reductions as they get bigger or something. I was planning on stopping now anyhow. Okay, that sounds good. Well, it sucks that you got stuck with this ship. Hopefully that's a very rare occurrence. They ruined the command module, turning into a dropship, but stating it isn't a dropship. Yeah, I'm really curious. Like, my initial prediction, and I'll say this for everybody to hear, just so you can hold me accountable to it later. I don't think I'm ever going to use it as a separate ship. I think it'll be a gimmick. I don't think it'll, like, I don't think I'm going to have the incentive to actually use the command module. Because my intention for the Ironclad, and this is where I'm applying this, is I'm going to have the Golem Ox on board, the Mining Golem, a Fighter, and my Salvation to be able to be self-sufficient out, you know, wherever I am, salvage, mining, fighting, whatever it is. And when it comes time to take cargo in, I'm using my Golem Ox. I'm not using anything else. Why else would I use the command module? Like, if I'm going to make a run in to get some supplies for shits and giggles, maybe. Otherwise, I'm probably going to take my Ox because I'm probably going to have stuff to maybe sell or trade out or whatever. So like, I'm predicting that outside of detaching for content, I'm never going to use it. That's my prediction, at least. There are size 4, 5, and 6 distortion weapons, but they are scatterguns. Yeah. And none of them are viable. I got the Salvation, which is the size 4, through buying the 325A gun package through a pledge. That's the only way I got that. I think you have to loot them or find them in like contested zones. But yeah, the scatterguns though, man, they're really slow firing, and you got to be like up in someone's face. They are cool to use though, and they apply some serious distortion when you actually get the full spread on somebody pretty quickly. But I hope to see more of a spread of those other guns. It might be nice to have multiple cargo modules to swap quickly if you're on a time crunch to unload. But at that point, just bring a bigger ship. Are you talking about for the Cat or the Ironclad with the command module? Salvations are at the Obituary Contested Zone. Okay. I was thinking I might use the command module to scout commodity trade routes to verify what's in the web, which is often wrong. Once verified, reattach to the route. Oh, you know what? Actually, Jeff, I'm glad you said that. A potential use that I don't know how practical it'll be is if it can quantum travel, which I think it can, you could use your command module to fish out whether or not there's a pirate area camping a travel route before you take your full load. Now that might seem really tiresome because jumping the route to fish out for pirates just to go back to your ship to grab it to then jump again, to me is more work than just dog-legging your trip with your whole ship. But I could see that being an argument being made for a way to use the command module. I think it's a lot of extra work, don't get me wrong, but I do think that that's a way that people could probably sort of like scout out a travel route. You know, it's an option. Support MX with a 4x4 distortion scattergun, dude. Oh my god. Yo, me with 4 Omni 12s and you with 4 Salvations. I bust down their shields and you turn them off. What? Because I would have their shields gone so fast with 4 Omnis, 4x4 Omni cannons hitting them, and then you just turn them off. Like, you just fly in and, oh, dude, that would be a fun test. Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, wait, hang on. I think that I might be traveling to the wrong spot, because rats should be closer. That should be Rat's Nest, right there. I'll come with raw damage boom booms. There we go. What if they blow up your CM when scouting around? Can you reclaim only the CM? See, there's another good test, Kodiak. I love that. We're going to have to do all these tests when the Ironclad comes out. I love that idea. Good stuff. So I had a med beacon on a 2-crew mole. Decided to come down to him to check if I could join him on his ship. He starts shooting at me while I'm standing on the ground, and so I railgun all of his bags. Oh my god. They come down to the ground, and I send them to Klesher. Big L. Oh, dude. Big W to Kayatoshi for that one. That sounds so satisfying. So they were trying to bait you with a med beacon, and you reverse Uno'd them? That's what it sounds like. For science, did an anti-meta vid with all golem mining lasers do damage to ships. Yeah, no, mining lasers do some mad damage to ships. I blasted my buddy Talius's Pisces with a helix laser like 3 or 4 years ago. It was the funniest thing we had done, man. It was basically a, hey, I wonder if this happens. He flies in front of me, I turned my power up, the helix went wide, and that Pisces disappeared. He just died immediately. It was hilarious. All these questions, probably why it's taking so long. Yeah, right, Hazard, I can imagine. Use a command module to ditch when pirates to avoid losing your gear once death of a spaceman's in place. Possibly. Yeah, that's a viable option. And, you know, that way you don't lose what's actually on your persons. You might have some weapons or something stashed. Maybe there's a storage compartment that's got a whole bunch of shit on the command module, and you'd rather ditch your load of, like, worthless potassium for a contract and run off as an escape pod, which that's viable, I think. Honestly, outside of emergencies, I won't be using the command module. No chance I'm ditching my cargo. I'm going down with my commodities. Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, like my ship is going to have my other ships on it. So if I'm in a situation where I'm that screwed, I messed up somewhere. And I don't know, I'm probably just going to go down with the ship. Be like, all right, self-destruct sequence activated. How cool would it be if, like, you had Quantanium stored down there, and it, like, created a sympathetic effect to where your self-destruct activated the Quantanium, which caused, like, a space nuke and destroyed everybody? Oh, man. That'd be a hell of a way to go out. All right. Well, let's see. Rat's Nest, here we come. What are we at timer-wise? We just crossed over an hour that we've been doing this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's wow, we've got some mass now. Damn. Holy shit. Let's slow down. Jeez. That was rather impressive. This potassium's heavy, dude. Holy cow. Glory, glory. What a hell of a way to die, right? Hey, how do you self-destruct anyways? Never figured that out. So you just hold down backspace. Like this.
Warning. Self-destruct started. Self-destruct stopped.
Make everybody perk up a little bit. Now, the thing is, it doesn't work in hard armistice zones. I'm surprised it works next to the station. It won't work next to most Stanton stations. That's why the other way you could do it, technically, which takes a lot longer, is to turn everything up to full power and turn off your coolers to start an overheat, which might eventually lead to a reactor breach. But that takes a lot longer.
Landing successful. Engines off.
Let's go ahead and fuel up. So that makes sense, yeah. So no armistice around Pyro stations at all, which is why you're able to do the self-destruct sequence. That fits. Wonder how long it will take for someone to undock it while going max speed, therefore not being able to catch up to dock again. Yeah, I experienced that when I was testing out my docking of the Merlin, or the Archimedes rather, to the Andromeda. However, it doesn't have nav speed. The command module, I guess, should, since it's got a proper quantum drive. So I'd imagine the command module, unladen, probably goes faster than the full ship. At least that would make sense. I'd imagine the full Ironclad probably tops out around 900 meters per second, whereas the command module probably tops out at like 1099 or something like that. Just shoot the power generator with your rifle. That's one way to do it. Oh, shit. Okay, we got a lot of stuff here. This might be everything. Yeah, okay, so I think I was wrong. This is going to be the full load here at Rat's Nest. I'll set Quantum to Ruin Station and go take that shot. Because there's definitely not going to be anything over at Dudley's. This is the full load. I'll go pour one. Yep. We're gonna have to take that shot for sure. Oh, made the whole thing jump. Here, let's move this here. I don't know why I grabbed it from this side. It would have been easier if I grabbed from the other, I guess. Oh man. Oh, the really heavy potassium. Come on, go up. Go up, go up, go up. Once attached, the main ship should slow down and stop. I kind of hope it doesn't if it's in nav mode. Kind of like the Connie. Like, if you want it to keep moving. But I don't think will the command module have some weapons on it? Because there's a potential reason to use it. If you got, like, NPC threats or like a lower number of threat, there's a chance that you, especially if you have a friend on board, you could jump in your fighter that's stored in your ship and also have somebody jump with the command module with maybe like 4 size 3 guns and go fight. Thank you. Yeah, I see that. That's awesome. I almost hit myself. Command module has weapons attached. Yeah, so just like the command module with the Caterpillar, because the Caterpillar has 4 size 3s. So there we go. There's another potential use case, is let your bigger ship keep moving and then fight off the enemies while your larger part of your ship keeps moving. I really hope it doesn't automatically stop. If it's like the Andromeda or the Connies, that'd be awesome, because you could send it off even at nav speeds to try to get away and then undock and break away from it and fight and then maybe find your ship again, because it'll be moving faster than they can, and eventually you'll be able to quantum to it and catch up to it in nav speeds and probably redock to it, because it'll not have the same top speed. Oh, we have so many things to test, guys. I'm so pumped for that now. We got so many tests to do. Really hope they fix the rock next patch. Yeah, honestly, that's such a dumb little problem that it's kind of silly that it hasn't been fixed yet. There's a laser calibration issue. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Up and at him. Up. Up. There we go. Alright, that should be everything in there. There's a basic system in the game that slows ships down that are unpowered. Well, that's what I'm hoping, is that it won't be unpowered, because like if you check out the you might have already seen it. We might be talking about, you know, different things in this context, but in my test, in my like how to master docking video for the Connie, I did a lot of tests with high speed undocking, and the only time the ship stopped was when you died. Or maybe when you quantum away, maybe it'll stop. But like staying around it in nav mode, it never decelerated. It stayed at speed, which I thought was really cool. Wow, we still have a whole slot here that we could stash a box on. I'm not missing any, am I? Let me make sure. We're all worried about the command mod. I'm wondering when the SRV will have a purpose in game. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you kind of have to make your own purpose in game currently when it comes to the SRV. It's such a cool ship. Like, I want contracts, and it sounds like we did hear in a recent Star Citizen Live. They are thinking about it. They have talked about it. We're gonna have missions where we're able to go and grab player ships that have been left at stations and stuff with our SRVs for salvage. They confirmed that. Like, that is on their list of things to do. It's not a high priority right now, but I'm just relieved to know that that is on their minds. So that eventually, that sort of recovery gameplay is going to be realistically in-game, which I love. It doesn't actually stop when you stand up if you're decoupled. Sometimes, depending on the ship, I've noticed they do tend to start slowing down. But again, if you want to see what I'm talking about, if you go on my YouTube channel and you look at the master docking video, or if you just go to like my beginners playlist, you'll see it. Or if you just type in like docking snub fighter, it should pop up. It'll have the two ships right on the thumbnail for you to see. And I do all the tests and demonstrations in that video, even docking while the Connie is moving with nobody in it, while I'm in the Merlin trying to catch it and dock to it, breaking away, and it keeps moving. It's really cool. How consistent that function is a good question though. Ideally, you would just use Newtonian physics, and if you're decoupled, the ship would just keep going, even without power. But we all know that if you turn off the power, then the ship does slow down, which is very counterintuitive to actual physics, but you know, it's not a Kerbal Space Program. They're not going to have all the physics dialed in. No. That's what I'm saying. You keep the ship on. You're intentionally keeping it on, powered, flying. You don't turn it off. You wouldn't want to. You would want it to keep moving. That's my use case. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I was saying I think we're talking about two different use cases or two different things. I'm talking about intentionally leaving it powered to keep it moving so you can go fight and try to defend your cargo and then get back to your ship. Or it gets far enough away that they're not going to be able to catch it anymore because it's, you know, traveling at like 800-900 meters per second. The Cat main body without command module, I suspect, will not have power. I hope that's not the case. I could see that happening, but I hope it's not the case. Rice and Black Beans, I'm here because of your YouTube vids. Congrats. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I'm glad that you enjoyed them. I love that people find them useful. That's why I do it. Waiting on you. Yep, I'm just setting this quantum travel, and then I'll go grab that shot. All right. Give me just a sec. Got it right here. Hang on, let me just get these headphones in place real quick. All right. So because I got it wrong, it was at Rat's Nest. Congrats to Hazard and whoever else guessed that. That's technically a double. Oh yeah, this is our badass double shot glass that we use. Woo, good stuff. Skull, let's go. All right. I'm gonna do a no flying decoupled in a hangar video. There you go, man. Let's go. I'll match it with like a crazy drunk decoupled video to go with it. Can't post links to your videos in YouTube chat. Wait, somebody was trying to and wasn't able to? No fair, where's my shot? I was right. Well, that's the thing. We lost, so we had to take a shot. So, you know, we got rewarded. Oh, really? Weird. Let me try. I wonder why. I don't have any restrictions like that. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't usually have any limits on that kind of stuff. Yeah, cool. Typing and snub docking. I was the second video to pop up. Hell yeah. The other guy was Lead Nap Gaming. Here, let me... Looking good. Let me see if I can link this video. Share. I imagine I can, just because it's on Meld Studios. It should pop in. Where I come from, everybody drinks when they're right and wrong, keeping it simple. Everybody inebriated. There you go. Yeah, if you want to take a drink because you're right, take a drink because you're wrong. I'm not going to disintegrate. I wish I could blame that on the alcohol. I am nowhere near intoxicated enough to blame it on that. That was just me jacking up the word. That's so weird, yeah. Oh, there we go. I see a link from you now. It popped up for me. Can do it in Twitch. Oh, so... Weird. I don't know. That's strange. I mean, there are things I don't understand. Like, I still haven't figured out how to stop it from, like, what, you guys on Twitch, you get the notification, Risk It All and Pyro still? I don't understand what that is. YouTube don't like me. Yeah, I mean, YouTube's picky. I mean, we'll be honest. Yeah, YouTube's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I can actually, like, get into my Twitch website and figure out what is causing the notification to always be the same. I can do that after we drop this off. Woo! Yeah, I'm feeling the weight now, man. I think the effects of the alcohol went straight to my whole B. Christy here is having a hard time. Krista? Hey, that's actually good. I'm gonna call her Krista. Christine, Krista. Also kind of like an Attack on Titan reference. Historia Rice. Let's get over here and get this 1.5 million credits. 1.6. 1.6 million credits. Credits. It only took an hour and 20 minutes. Well, we haven't offloaded yet. Hologram zoom is fixed. Oh yeah, you can see the whole ship now. I'm really glad they're giving a little bit of love to the holograms in 4.8. That is nice. I need to get more time over in Evo, get more testing. Gotta recopy my account and get all that started. Get the grind on. Because you know me, once the 4.8 hits Wave 1 PTU, that's pretty much all the live stream becomes, is PTU testing. Now, these all turn in properly, and we actually get everything. That's awesome, because the only reason it took as long as it did was we were running around wild goose chasing it because all of our stuff was at certain places. So it actually is a pretty accurate representation, I think, of how long it would take to do this with it working right, because we pretty much went to all the stations. But in all three of these mission cases, all of the cargo was at one of the three pickups instead of being properly spread out. So if you don't see cargo at your pickup, it's probably at the other pickup. If you don't see cargo and it's the only pickup, mission's probably a dud, and I would just restart. I'm like extra paranoid because I don't want to run into some like random floating ship part and lose all of this. That would suck. Let's go ahead and refuel. Like I said, your ship reminds me of my ex-wife. Her name was Chris too. Ah, it's funny. Yeah, so if anybody is curious, I was going with the nod to Steven, not Steven, Jesus. I almost said Steven Spielberg. Wow. Why can't I think of... Wow, I am drawing the total blank here on the author of all of those, like Christine and the Langoliers. Stephen King, thank you. God, holy shit. I could not pull out of that like mental fog. Holy cow. I almost said Steve McQueen. I literally almost said Steve McQueen after Steven Spielberg. Stephen King, thank you. Jeez, dude. That was painful. Oh, that was gonna drive me nuts. Has anybody seen The Langoliers? What a weird-ass movie, right? I remember watching that, I had to be like freaking 12. And it was kind of like a cool idea, but like weirdly creepy, like horrible CGI at the end. Christine was actually creepy. The Langoliers was just freaking weird. Alright. Also made me a little paranoid on my next couple of plane flights. I almost said flame flights. Come on. This is the nice part, that all of this just goes to the same place. Makes for offload pretty much a no-brainer. Whoa! Oh, well, that's gone. Let's get that so it doesn't end up going into the wall or anything. There we go. Pop it up. Yeah, potassium is just a lot heavier than this other stuff. Like, here's a good test. So we got carbon and potassium, which, my God, this makes me want to see how heavy iron is. So, as an example, kind of makes you want to go through that guy's head, right? Need more sippy sippy happy juice. I do like the Hull B. It's a great little ship, man. But watch this. So, grab and lift for the carbon. Look at that. Just right up. No problem. 34.5 tons. Potassium. Grab and lift. What the hell, man? Okay, there's the inertia that I was waiting for. So the initial grab and lift was fine. Now it's showing off how heavy it is. Okay, you little shit. You're about to make me double guess myself. Because this one... Yeah, see, this you can move around a lot easier. So they definitely added more to the mass of things. Iron you might not be able to lift over the ship. Yeah, based on what I'm seeing here, because in the game currently iron's the heaviest of the items. So if you grab and straight lift the potassium, it actually goes up pretty well, but if you try to drag and drop it, it's a pain. Alright, here we go. 34.5 versus 40.5, yeah. It actually felt pretty comparable in that sense. In some of my other cases trying to grab this potassium, like it wouldn't even lift up like that. Like this, like this example right here. Like, there we go. Now it's starting to go up. Come on. The inertia's insane. Okay. Actually, I probably can't call the elevator with it right there, so let's... Please don't go through the floor. That's all I ask. Alright. Send this back up. There's a yellow border around the potassium, green around the rest. Oh, shit. Hey, good catch. Thank you for that, Brian. I didn't notice that. Yeah. We're learning. We're seeing just how different it is. Yeah, I bet iron's a massive bitch to move now. Which I'm okay with. Like, if that's the intended purpose, that's good. This is actually how you start to incentivize the use of ships, tractor beams, ATLSs. You know, the stuff that we typically don't use because the tractor rifle is just OP as hell. I hope that the tractor rifle never gets to a point where it can't lift it. But if it makes it really hard to where it takes a while, you got to be patient, kind of like how I'm struggling with potassium today, I think that's okay. Honestly, I want a reason to be like, yeah, let's just use the ship's tractor beam for this because it's got the juice for it. Did I miss the vehicle loadout discussion? We had it a couple of times, so I'm not running my normal stealth build that I like, and I am likely going to switch back to that. Except I probably will run the Hemera Quantum Drive for the most part for fuel efficiency over the Sparkle or the Spicule Quantum Drive. But my current build on the Hull B, just for time's sake today, is one of my JS400s that I had on my Hermes. I'm running Icebox. I always run the Icebox Stealth Cooler because you have the minimum pip requirement of 1 to turn it on, which is nice. Shield-wise, I'm actually running the civilian grade A Loricas, which are fantastic. They're so good. They regen really fast. They're really reliable. Before, I was running the Shrouds, which are the grade D stealth. But typically, when I'm running dark or running stealthy, I am actually running with my shields off, so I probably would just run with the Loricas, honestly, because if I'm turning my shields on, if I need some shield defense, I'd want something good. I am running the Cassandra Stealth radar, just because that's what I also had handy. I might change that over to the grade A civilian because of the lesser pip power requirement. It only takes 1 instead of 2. But we're running a pretty basic build. But we are running the Hemera Quantum Drive. Absolutely, being in Pyro, I wanted a really fast, efficient quantum drive, so I am running the Hemera. It has proven itself like it always does. It's just a great quantum drive. Loadout recovery discussion. Oh, you mean like the stuff in 4.8? Like the way things brick now? I like ship tractors. Nose into external elevators. They're awesome. Yeah. I've had a pretty good time actually running belly down to the external elevators with them as well, even with their limited range. It's been pretty good. The radars are all jacked up right now. None of the stats make sense. Yeah, it's kind of weird to me that the stealth radar would require 2 pips to power. That just seems super counterintuitive because that would make the civilian one better than the stealth one. I don't know. I agree. I think that needs work. Are we? That's what I thought. Alright, let's send those down. I definitely think the elevators need an overhaul on how much they can carry. Yo, and thank you, Rice and Black Beans, for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. Hope you've been having some fun with the show. Alright, let's send this up. Oh, looks like we got completion on 1 or 2 of the contracts, so we just got to get the last bit in. These missions are actually decent. You know, Red Wind actually has senior grade contracts, and I actually really am excited to see what master grade's going to have that are worth doing, unlike Kovalex, which there's like no reason to do those. You spend almost the same amount of time just to make like 400k. We did this less than an hour and a half to make 1.6 million. Red Wind line haul's definitely showing what's up. You run the grade A competition radar. Oh shit, how's that been? Is that, do you know offhand if that's a 1 pip requirement? Because I think the military and civilian grade A's only take 1 pip. I'm not sure about competition. Okay, is that everything? That should be. It's also what I like. It's so easy to see if there's anything left on the ship versus how you have to run around the C2 or the Caterpillar. There are definitely some reasons to want to have this ship over those. By the way, the unverified Hull C salvage missions now make you millions. That is something I need to check into. I have heard a lot about those missions. I have not run them yet. What rank do I need to be? Because those are a Pyro mission, right? I haven't actually checked them out myself. But, so yeah, that took us an hour and 28 minutes with all the fuckery and runarounds. An hour 28 to make 1.6 mil. In the Hull B. Not bad. Yeah, we're sitting now at 3.4. Let's see, 90 minutes for 1.6. So if I do that, hang on, just checking something. So it's about $1 million an hour at that. A little over $1 million an hour. It's pretty good. Hull C was only added in like 471. Stanton 2. Oh, okay. I make the same, if not more money, jumping back and forth between planet and station makes the long haul not worth it. I mean, yeah, there are tons of ways to make sick amounts of money. $1 million an hour is pretty good, though. I know that with the smaller stuff going planetary, it's pretty easy to make, you know, 500 to 700K an hour. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it just gives you more options. I bet it'll be, well, I don't know. Yeah, because we pretty much ran around to each of the stations, so that's a pretty accurate representation of what it would be. It's pretty normal with the like planetary member missions and stuff to make between 500 to 800K an hour, depending on how efficient you're running. That was a pretty sloppy and easy $1 million an hour there. The Hull C does $2 to $3 million an hour when it's working right, which, you know, that depends on the back-end servers actually functioning the way they're supposed to, which is always the question, yeah? But yeah, and again, for anybody who's curious, we were doing this stellar hauling in Pyro at the senior level, and we were going after the 535K missions. Now, these are currently bugged to where typically one of the 3 stops has your cargo. Really no way yet to know which of those stops. I haven't figured out a consistent way to tell. It's not the very first place. You kind of just have to stumble across it. And if you go to the bottom of the list, you see the bulk of them that are together that all go to the same place, it looks like right here. Ruin, 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 orbit. So that's 3 ruins. Oh, that's delivering to 3 different places. So that goes from ruin to 3 other places. Oh, shit. That might be a loop, guys. We might have a 500K loop. Because now that we're at ruin, there's one that goes back out. But, oh, that's actually a lot of cargo, though. Hang on. Oh, wait, that should be enough, though. 135 plus 143 plus 155. Yeah, it's 433. So you can definitely do it. So that's cool. There's an extra 535 that takes you back out from ruin. So you can have 3 going to, and then 1 going back out, and then go and pick up more to go back to ruin. So you've got a crazy loop of 535s here, because 3 of them always seem to go back to ruin station. I was checking to see if like they were the same station we just picked up from. Oh, but those are good. I like that. First, you have to get up to that rep level to get those missions, though. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, dude, yeah. How much rep did we get? We completed a few of those at the senior level, which is good. Which, honestly, wow. Oh, man. We were, like, down here, and that's all we got. So, what's cool is, in the future, when I do these missions, we can form up a party to, you know, bounce off this experience. Because unlike the others, again, Redwind actually shares down. So, to help people grind up, we can actually do rep share and do more and more of these missions. So, there's that, at least. Next time I run these, maybe on Friday we can run some hauling and we can do a group and I can share the rep and we can, you know, experience the juicy rep gain. On the PTU side, I will actually, let me go ahead and do that now while I'm thinking about it. I can show that just in case anybody hasn't done a PTU reset before. Let's go over there. I'm gonna have to grind all over again because I am resetting my stuff. Account dashboard. Settings. Public test universe. Copy account PTU. Bam. That's all it is. So now I'll get an email that will show that my account's been copied and my PTU gets reset, which means I get the 15 million back and all of my rep goes back to square one. But it updates my hangar. So now I should have my Hull B in there, which would be cool. I'll be doing that again when the Ironclad comes out. That way I will have that in the PTU for all the fun. But yeah, this actually timed out pretty perfectly. So this is probably what we're going to call the stream. I'm going to find a content creator raid out to. And on Wednesday, we'll be getting back into some Windrose. And coming up next month, we'll be getting into Forza Horizon 6 on that second channel. So keep your eyes open for that. I will be streaming to that new YouTube channel on Wednesday, finally. So it'll finally get some love. And Twitch and Kick will be the same stuff, so no worries there. I do have cargo mechs on each side of the ship at Babbage. Then use the tractors at Tressler, so it's very fast. Nice, hell yeah. I'm still only experienced on Red Wind. Yeah, and it didn't take too long, really, running all those experience missions to jump into Senior. So I'd be curious to see how long it takes to rep share those Senior missions. Odien Kopeng, catch you in the verse next stream. Sounds good, man. All right, let's go ahead and get our Twitch side raiding out. Let's see who we got, man. Hang on. Let's pop over here before we do some Inception shit. Thanks, Azure Shield. You too. Someone in SC testing chat says Stackall is working on PTU, though it might take a couple tries. Oh, man, I can't wait to see Stackall coming back. That's going to be so good. All right, take a quick look here. Hindrosa's on, which I like. Enterprise is on. Let's see. Let's just jump back up. We'll keep it simple. All right, guys, this is going to be it for today. This is where the stream cuts off on YouTube, and we'll be sending you over to Hindrosa on Twitch. Thank you so much for hanging out. Love it. Love the support. Love the questions. We will catch you guys on Wednesday for some more fun on Windrose.